Is week 6, day 2, NA regions of the Valor series, and I'm just going to mute my mic and enjoy watching it with you guys, and I'll be typing instead of talking during the broadcast, so that way I don't interrupt the broadcasters or of course the gameplay with just a bunch of talking. So I hope you enjoy. Make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe, not just me, but also the Arena of Valor Facebook, and of course their, I don't know if they have YouTube, but their Twitter. I'll find out if they have YouTube.
Unfolds around me.
I'll let my fist do the talking.
Welcome to the arena. Arena of Valor.
The race is to the top of the mountain that will allow the teams from each of the 3 regions to make it to Sao Paulo has been ever so treacherous. And now we find ourselves in the North American region where things might not be as treacherous, but definitely just as confusing. Welcome back to the desk. My name is Jump. I'm joined here with Invirum and Mr. Suijay. The OG crew is what I like to call it. Gentlemen, we find ourselves in North America, but before we get to the matches, it's now time for, again, a little bit of drafting compositional fun. You guys got to see the conspiracy theory of Gilder and the double assassination composition that we saw from the Nightmare counter from TJ, as well as a much more thought-out composition that you saw coming out of Mr. Suijay. Now, myself and Invirum took a turn at this. Now, remember, this is the enemy team, and we were supposed to kind of create a composition out of a pool of heroes to combat that, what we call the Nightmare Draft. For the Slayer, Jungle, Mid, Support, and Dragon position respectively, we are going up against Ibenith, as well as Slims, Liliana, Aram, and Marja. Now that we have seen that, now that we have seen what this is, Paul, I'll let you go first.
So I intentionally didn't listen to what you guys did going into this. So I wouldn't be biased. I wouldn't be able to take any of your ideas. So maybe there's going to be some repeats here, but let's get into my draft. Now, I lovingly dubbed this draft, Just Go Kill Him. That is the idea behind this. So starting off in the Slayer lane, Ryoma, we've seen Ryoma having a lot of appearances in the Slayer side of things here. Great setup stun. Zill, we saw him traditionally played in the jungle in Season 1. He's had side lane here in Season 2. L'Oreal, just a good, consistent, mobile, nimble mid pick. Has decent burst damage. Gilder because he was, you'll see why in a second as we round this out. And Telanus was where I decided to round this out on the Dragon side. So a little bit of mixing things up. So yeah, you look on your face, Jump.
You put Telanus in the Dragon lane?
I know. Let me explain this. Well, let me walk you through this. So essentially how this draft is going to work is it's all based around the idea of hyper aggression. You're going to go in with your Ryoma, set up the stun. You're going to flicker in with your Gilder. You're going to pop your ult. You're going to go in with your Zill. The Tornado's going to be there as well. You're going to have L'Oreal being zip dodging and diving around. And in the back, Telanus is going to be a big, juicy target. She's going to be the one, essentially the idea is that she's dishing damage from the back line, functioning similarly to a Yorn. Realistically, she's probably going to die. She's probably going to get sniped out, and that's okay, because the rest of the goal is that while that's happening, you are killing like 2 to 3 of them.
All right.
You're going to go in, delete somebody, Gilder can set up the play, Tornado on top of that, following up with the Indulgence. That's how you kill people.
All right, I'm going to stop you right there. The first question I'm going to ask you, how are you getting out of the early game?
Well, you do have Ryoma.
You do have
Ryoma's
Ryoma.
a little strong in the early game,
Yeah,
but you put him against the Ibenith.
Yeah, that's going to be...
Telenis might struggle against Marja, too, because Marja's ranged.
Yeah, but Telenis has actually additional range, so she can't actually poke down the Marja, which is part of the reason why I put her in that side lane composition, because she can actually out-poke. As long as she doesn't allow Marja to get up close at all in that set, she actually can trade pretty well.
Gilder's a little weak early, too, man.
He is super weak early. He is super weak early, but there were no good support options.
So one of the two positions that you need early game strength, either the support or the mid.
Thing is,
you
he
have
can
a
set up
scaling mid laner in L'Oreal, and then you have a Gilder.
All it takes is Ryoma to hit one Wailing Blade, and then Gilder can fall. All Ryoma needs to do is hit one
All it
Wailing
takes.
Blade. Ryoma can
All
follow
it
up.
takes.
Yeah,
That's
look,
what Padera said last time. All it takes.
No, all right, look.
Let's see. All right,
What'd you call your composition again?
just go
Just
kill
kill
him.
him.
Just kill it. Well, mine is a dash of this, a dash of that. That's what we're going to call mine, all right?
Let's do it.
A dash of everything, because I feel like to have a well-balanced composition, you need a little bit of everything. So for the dragon lane, specifically, I chose Lubu. You have a good dragon, you have your solo laner, you got the early game pressure. Then to support, I went with Thane. Very similar to what with you went to as well. Thane provides you that CC, he provides you some protection. Mid lane, I went Azen-Ka. Azen-Ka has some sustained damage, has a little bit of poke, give you a dash of this. Jungle was my crazy pick. I went with Butterfly.
Yeah.
Because Butterfly, I felt, with combination in Baldom.
So literal counter synergy?
Yes.
Wow,
So the way.
No, counter synergy. Okay.
All right. So this is what my thought process was. Everything revolves around Butterfly.
Yeah.
All right.
I can see that.
You have the AD damage in the Lubu. You have the AP magic damage that you have in the Azen-Ka. There's your damage. There's what you need. Now you have your tanks in the Baldom as well as the Thane. You get enough damage from the Azen-Ka. You get enough kind of dueling power from the Lubu, and then you get your Butterfly to clean up. I am assuming that we have players that are playing this from the Latin American region, so they understand how to flank and use a Butterfly correctly. When Butterfly has been played in the Valor series thus far, she has not had good results, specifically because players just don't know how to do this thing called waiting. Butterfly is a hero that revolves around waiting. You wait, you kill, you reset, they die.
So question, Baldwin wants to go in and flip people over his back, and Thane wants to push people away. So how do those two guys work together?
So it's the to every positive there's a negative. So when you pull one or when you push one and you pull the other, they actually don't go anywhere. So it's like the perfect crowd control.
See, what you could have done there is that like Baldwin would throw him back, and then Thane would continue to push them into the team. That's how you should have postured that jump. So you can just separate one person and delete them.
But it's the same thing. Just as where you can have a positive to a negative, you can have a negative to a positive. So it works both ways.
And Baldwin, if he activates his ultimate, he can actually protect the enemies, and Thane could use King's Glory.
Totally, and that way Butterfly doesn't get any resets. Of course, that's perfect. That's why I was like, that Baldwin alt synergy with the Butterfly is amazing.
Now, because I clearly didn't have the analytical mindset to make a decision whether or not Sweet J or TJ's was better, we now have the analytical mind. Whose draft was better? Mine or Paul's?
Paul loses early. Yours is good earlier. I think they both lose. They're both gonna lose.
Oh no. We weren't drafting a composition that was gonna win.
Marja's gonna beat Baldwin.
Yeah, but at least Telenis can trade with Marja in the early game, and Ryoma will do okay against the Abena. If he's level 4, at least he's got Spectral Ire. But
Paul, you have a Gilder on your team. All right. Enough shenanigans.
Gilder's getting a buff in the next patch. Don't even give me that.
Look, you've been sitting, I don't know what it is, but you sitting in the same seat as TJ is doing something to your mind. Maybe I need to get his tinfoil hat and put it on you to stop the TJ rays from coming into your brain. All right, shenanigans are over. Let's talk about the North American region. Let's talk about the real drafts that we're going to be seeing today. Toxic will be going up against Team Allegiance, and then following that, it's the Battle of the Bottoms is what you saw coming from TJ. You've got Veni Vidi Vici and Kranitz Esports. Let's go ahead and talk about our first matchup of the day, Toxic versus Allegiance.
Can Toxic break the curse that is part of the NA hierarchy system? Basically, the lower level team, the lower seeded team never ever beats the higher seeded team. But can Toxic pull it off against Allegiance? 0.0001% chance.
It's a tall order. That is tough. ALG is undefeated. They have never lost a game in Season 2 of the Valor Series. Toxic is looking better and better and better every single week. Props to them. They've improved so much. I don't think they've improved that much.
What I will say, though, is this is a great opportunity to do two things. One, more practice.
Yeah.
Toxic having this opportunity to play on the stage as Allegiance and have this chance in preparation for potentially seeing them on one side or the other of the bracket at the regional finals is an important factor we have to take in note. And two, it's extra sample size of matches to review of them playing against Allegiance specifically. It's one thing when it's good competition, it's two when it's your potential opponent.
Yeah, and Bobo is matching against MTS. He dies the most on his team, 3 deaths per game on average. MTS, 0.64 deaths on average per game. He has the 3rd most gold on his team, and Bobo has the most gold on his team. And that, I think that's something that may be effective if Bobo gets ahead, but against MTS, might not happen.
You got to talk about Basic as well, though. We have to talk about Basic. This is a player who started the season off not looking so odd, but has come so far. You combine that with Neo and Hoon, and you've got a lot of players who can make a lot of big plays.
Yeah, and Hoon, speaking of Hoon, he has the most damage on his team, averaging, 5,300 damage a minute, and doing well over 30% of his damage. He's neck to neck with Sleepy, actually, in terms of damage percentage of the team. Sleepy does 31%, but Sleepy's damage is at 8,500 damage a minute. So significantly more than Hoon.
Getting over 4K is, for context, getting over 4,000 is pretty good.
Well, there's a reason why Sleepy finds himself in the position that he is. Rocker, Rest, MTS, KO, Sleepy. We've talked about him. There's no need to be talking about them anymore. Yeah. Predictions, gentlemen. Let's keep it quick. Let's get ourselves into this draft.
Allegiance 2-0.
Yep.
All right. Well, you guys have heard it. Is there a diamond in the rough? Is there an opportunity for the toxicity to spread into the Allegiance veins and secure themselves a victory? Let us know on Twitter. #Valor Series. Tweet us your predictions, your thoughts, and what they can potentially do to upset Allegiance. Now, we're getting ourselves into the pick band. Toxic finds themselves on the blue. Allegiance finds themselves on the red. I want to talk about proactivity. Blue side gives you the chance to essentially funnel a pick into your first slot. What is that pick that can offset Allegiance?
They could try to get first pick Annette or potentially Aurum, but Aurum is normally always banned. AOG will ban, like, for example, Aurum, Chognar are like their more popular bans. Surprisingly, Chognar has shown up as a ban pretty often because they want to get the Mina. Toxie, on their hand, they don't like Ibenith, they don't like Aurum, and they don't like Kriknak. So those bans could come out. And look at it, they're going to ban Marja, which actually they did yesterday.
I like this.
And Marja is one of MTS's like really strong heroes.
That was for 2 reasons. 1, it leaves RM up on the board, potentially go their way. And 2, yeah, MTS is disgusting on Marja. Any mechanically skilled, like really high skill cap hero is where he excels.
Definitely. So will Allegiance ban away that RM, that Chognar, like they normally do on that red side and leave open, Mina. They could also ban Zenio. That's always been one of Allegiance's kind of top priority bans as well.
I think it's because they like to play the stronger macro game.
There's the arm.
There's the arm. And I think it's because they like to play the stronger macro game, and having that global pressure that you're constantly having to deal with is just no fun. They want to make sure that they're the ones split pushing better, doing a better job of having that 4-1. And when you have a Zenio, it means they're less apt to be able to take those scrappy 4-man fights.
Now, we talk about this a lot, and it's something that I know we kind of, we beat the concept to death in a lot of ways, but Allegiance, there is a weak link somewhere. They are not perfect. They are not. They are doing well. I do not want to discount that. This is not by any means to discount the fact that they are undefeated, the only team undefeated in the Valor Series, spread across 18 teams. What is the weak link for them, though, Sweet J? You've watched a lot of their games. You've seen them in the AWC. This is a very familiar roster. What is the winning strategy against
the
Allegiance?
Only time that Allegiance has lost was at the Arena Valor World Cup, and they lost early game very hard against really solid teams that basically made less mistakes than them. That's really the only way to beat Allegiance, is you beat them in early game and you make less mistakes, so don't have a chance to come back. A lot of teams that do beat Allegiance in early game, especially like Tribe, they make more mistakes than Allegiance in the mid to late game, and it allows Allegiance to come right back and Rocker gets fed. But other teams from Asia don't even allow them to get ahead in any way, and that's the key. And that's the only way I see Allegiance get beat. You can't really outdraft them. They play every hero really well. You just literally have to win the draft and make sure you take and play your composition properly. Because Tribe had a really good draft with Mina, and Chognar was banned, but Rest's Lumber just turned fights around so quickly, and beginnings Mina start to fall off. And it's about making less mistakes, and no team can do that right now.
I think part of the issue is that there's 2 types. There's Allegiance there's two different types of Allegiance that we see. There's Allegiance playing against North American teams they know they can beat. And they do silly things against North American teams they know they can beat. They take fights they shouldn't. They go over the top. Rocker is their front line for some bizarre reason. They don't play it standard where they protect their carries. They do their own thing, and they can get away with it because they're ALG, because of the pure natural synergy, the individual mechanics.
Yeah, thousands of games together,
Thousands
right?
of games. So you can, but then there's the second type of ALG that we see.
Let's see if the net will be banned or Mina, because with Trognar being banned, Mina looks really good as a first pick, and Neo's Mina is pretty amazing.
All right, so we see...
But no, they're going to go with Slim, so a net or Mina is the decision now for Toxic or Allegiance.
So then I throw it back to you, Invirum. We have the Allegiance that kind of goes off the rocker, with no pun intended. And we have the Allegiance, which essentially, in my opinion, is when Rest puts his foot down and says, okay, guys, it's time to play. Where does those lines become blurred, where you can see that kind of chink in the armor?
That's the exact point I'm talking about. That's the middle ground, and it has to play off what Suji is saying about making less mistakes. But the biggest issue is they reach this point where they're playing against, and it happens against the Asian teams, where they're playing against players who are as good as they are. And that's where they start to make mistakes, and start to second-guess themselves. They make rotations that they should, or they think they can take fights that they can't.
Or Sleepy's too aggressive.
Or Sleepy's too aggressive, because they underestimate. I think honestly, the biggest issue with ALG is they underestimate their opponents, and that's when they pay for it. They take engagements they shouldn't, because they're so used to playing against teams they know they can beat that the second they walk into a room and they're not the toughest guy in the bar, that's when they have a problem.
Well, I mean, we saw this when they played Tribe Gaming. They didn't lose that game, but the earlier stages of it was very difficult for them because, but for all intents and purposes, mechanically, most of the players of Tribe can stand toe-to-toe with these Allegiance players. I'd say outside of the mid lane, I do say that Sleepy is by and large easily the best mid laner in North America. I would love to see a Sleepy Shurko matchup. We've actually never seen that in the history of anything across the board. I would love to actually see that mechanically, but now let's get ourselves back into what we have with the game.
Because Sweet J is getting excited here.
Ibeneth, first pick for Toxic. Violet, Zenial now for Allegiance.
Yeah, Mina is still open. Mina with Ibeneth is extremely strong. We also have Malik open. It's so interesting to see Allegiance first pick Violet and Zenial. Zenial makes sense. Valheim is also open. There's a lot of power picks that are just, they didn't prioritize the side laners. They prioritized Violet instead of a side laner there. And Rocker can play any side laner. He does, or any jungle. He doesn't have to pick the Violet. He can play Morin. He can play Lindis. So it's very interesting to see how this draft is playing out. Mina has not even picked up when I feel like she's super strong. They're securing a Kali. Kali doesn't make any sense to me why they would prioritize Kali. This draft is completely going a different way than I anticipated.
So I can walk you through ALG's thought process in this one. So basically, the Violet's as much of a denial here. They know that Rocker can play anything, but they know that Basic feels really comfortable on those just drop dead, easy peasy marksman in the jungle. His Morin is really good. His Slims and Fennec are okay. His Lindis is okay, but his Violet's not bad. So taking that away off the bat, and then it's the split pushing. I remember I talked about they want to be the ones to control the macro and split push. That's why they prioritize the Zenial.
This is toxic. I don't understand. Why would you not take Mina? Mina with Ibeneth and Malik are super synergistic. Like, why give up Mina over to Allegiance here? I mean, they just lost the draft. Like, clearly. Like, Rest's Mina is amazing. And Neo has a really good Mina. And again, like I mentioned it, you have to win draft. You don't win draft against Allegiance, that's half the game right there. You just lost.
And a lot of teams, and you've been saying it week in, week out, Mina is the X factor for Allegiance, especially the way that the direction that the current meta is rolling. If Mina is in the hands of Allegiance, good things are bound to happen. But now, Mina is locked in. The Valheim gets locked in as well. Opportunities arrive for Toxic. Murad seems to be the hover. They have played this before.
Basic played this yesterday.
And he plays a very good Murad.
That's his amazing assassin, for sure.
So they want to basically play the range game. So late game Kali is going to outrange the entire enemy team. And a net being picked up too. Oh, Morin is going to be picked up instead. The key is, again, they have... How do they counter his Mina? Because Rest is going to not waste his Dark Dominion. He knows he's going to use that Dark Dominion onto the Morin there. So they have to make sure that they counter that Dark Dominion engage and basically leverage Ibeneth and Malik and Lumber. And they have played again. They have not played against when the last time Lumber faced Mina was when Allegiance played Lumber into Tribe's Mina, and they won because Rest Lumber was just fantastic. So it's going to come down to skill matchup here.
I actually don't hate the draft of Toxic. I actually see more natural synergy. Obviously, you have Jinnar Mina, which is incredible. It's disgusting. Wins games all on its own. But Toxic as well, you have the setup of the Shock, you have the Earth Splitter to follow up, you have the Magnetic Storm, all the while Nature's Realm was there, and the Ethereal Pulses in the back. If they just combine all of their ultimates together, if 2 people are caught in that initial Earth Splitter, the Shock is there to follow up, then Nature's Realm is on top of that. If Morn is able to get some sort of flank drop Magnetic Storm on that, I don't care who you are in ALG, that's destructive levels of damage.
So now,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, he can even use Impact Barrage to push away the Mina.
Exactly.
But if Rest flickers Dr. Minion, then you can't really use Impact Barrage.
Nope.
For me, though, you take a look at compositional strengths, you take a look at compositional weaknesses. We talk a lot, and I know this is a big proponent of the analysis that you think post-draft, Sweej, is how these team fights are going to play out. It's usually around one player. If one player finds himself in a good position, good things are bound to happen. An early focus on the Kali is a clear definition for me. These team fights are either going to go great with Hoon or they're going to go bad with Hoon.
We have not seen Hoon play Kali too, so I'm excited to see.
He
how
also
that's
has the front line. You've got the Malik,
Yep.
you've got the Eben, the synergy. While, yes, draft and in the context of what we were seeing, the Mina was the better choice from the draft perspective. But now looking at the composition and the organic synergies that you were talking about in Virum, it looks to be an opportunity, but Hoon is going to have to step up on Kali. But more importantly, he's going to have to make it out of lane because Sleepy finds himself on one of the most, if not his most powerful hero. As we find ourselves on the battlefield now for match 1, game 1 of the North American region. Week 6 is almost coming to a close, but not just yet before Allegiance takes back the stage.
Yeah, and I do like Toxic. They have the stronger early game with the Ibeneth and the Malik here, but they're not going to abuse it. They're not going to try to invade.
Which is a mistake, I think. The NA teams, this is what they do. They invade. You see ALG doing this right now. They are just starting this. Bobo is trying to kite back this Golem here. He's trying to get the blue buff, but Rocker's going to immediately look to try and pick this up right now. Neo is going to try and snipe this. Not going to have the success. This is already a huge disruption on the jungle of Toxic.
Yeah, but they got to take the Golem, not... He's trying to take the little jungle minion instead of the Golem here. That's very risky if they get rotated on and they don't secure that blue buff, but it looks like they're going to be safe for now.
He's going to try and get away with it here. Rest is scouting this out, but not going to be there in time. Basic actually is able to get himself both. This is actually one of my favorite heroes from Basic. This is Marad.
Yeah, his Morn is really good. So I'm excited to see how ALG will play against a good Morn, because we always see enemies playing against Rocker's Morn, and they never played against a solid Morn like Basic. So that will be exciting to watch. And so far, Allegiance is dominating the pressure game. They're winning both side lanes and doing a really good job with these rotations. And of course, MTS is going to beat the Ibeneth here with the Valheim's range.
MTS, just the double marksman we're going to be seeing now from ALG. You're going to have that a little bit of additional armor there, the passive from Lumber, which is going to be nice, but I don't think that's going to be enough to deal with just the raw damage output that ALG is going to have in this mid to late game.
Yeah, especially once Rocker gets online. They have to focus him somehow, because he's going to be able to poke them pretty hard. So they have to be decisive and engage and allow Hoon to use his Ethereal Pulse to poke down ALG and then engage in a very decisive manner.
Well, speaking of decisive engages, I need to see that from Rest. These Flicker Dark Dominions need to be on point. We'll see if Toxic can engage right now. We are going to have Zenial having the Angelic Splendor able to come in if he so chooses. Neo is going to go in. The Dragon is going to go over to Allegiance, and with that, Sleepy is doing so much damage. The Angelic Splendor was there. The damage reduction was enough.
Wow.
And that's a quick and easy 3K for ALG.
Yeah, you know, 3 kills and the Dragon.
It's
and
fine.
What we talked about, they have to win early game, and they did not. I'm surprised Basic didn't use his ultimate sooner. He had his Magnetic Storm up, so he could have leveraged that and basically stunned the entire team.
They were in a choke. That was a Magnetic
ALG.
Storm. Right?
Yeah, it was a perfect setup, and
don't
he
understand.
didn't use it in time, and you know,
I don't even, yeah.
KO, turn level 4, he was able to Angelic Splendor from across the map and turn that fight in the favor of ALG, securing those kills, which is huge for them.
And I actually thought it wasn't necessarily going to come out there, but last second they're like, no, we do actually need you in that fight. The level of communication was huge, because you know that if KO didn't have to go all the way across the map, that he would have just happily stayed and split pushed and farmed. And up against Bobo is actually doing a pretty darn good job there, despite the fact that, of course, that cleave does true damage.
It does, and Malik is so strong in that side lane against every melee hero, except for maybe Arum. That's why Bobo was able to out-pressure KO, but you can see there with Allegiance rotation, they stick together so well and get river control every single time. And that river control is very important in setting up like a lot of ganks.
And one thing I also want to direct your eye to here, Sweej, is the gold chart right now. Because we are seeing a 2K gold lead from Allegiance. And that's not just the one Dragon. That's not just the 3 kills. That is overall superior farming. We're seeing a fight breaking out here. Bobo, he goes in. He was forced to use the shock to defend the tower. Nicely done there. But still, I mean, I got to give props. At least throughout all this, Toxic picks up a kill. They get MTS.
It's 2 versus 1. They're able to get the kill onto MTS, and now they can pressure this bot tower really well, because KO, he might have to back off here or try to clear this wave out, which he will do.
He was so focused on getting that kill in the top lane. I think he's actually going to get killed himself here. The Malleus comes on through and basically needs to be careful not to tank this tower too much. Proxer is going to do it somehow. KO survives. I can't believe it. But still, I mean, the fact that they were so focused on getting the kill themselves, they allow MTS to fall on the Dragon side.
Basic made a mistake there. He should have focused KO instead of the tower, because his entire team displaced KO, and KO would have died. If Basic was focused on Zenio, he would have killed KO, and that would have put them ahead, because he did not. He's low, he took too many tower shots, and this gives up Abyssal Dragon over to ALG potentially, but they're not going to rush it and play safe. And wow, look at that. They know that they're in there. What smart play. Neo must have saw them go into that bush, and now Rest is less than half health. He has to go home.
That was actually a really nice little play there. The Earth Splitter just on faith, on confidence, knowing it was going to connect with the Ethereal Pulse there as well. Actually took down.
Yeah, one thing is they should have done it at the exact same time. The Earth Splitter should have went down with the Ethereal Pulse, and that would have done so much more damage, because that CC in that time into the Ethereal Pulse would have done a lot of work. And look, it's up again already.
It's up again already, yeah. This ability, it's just the Gatling gun of truth just going right on through. Neo needs to be careful. Rocker is there already getting the initial chip damage, as we do see the fight for the Dragon going to be starting here, as Allegiance is going to be commencing that Rocker, making short work of this Dragon.
Yeah, that's going to be the second Dragon over to Allegiance. You don't want to do that. They're going to give him that level lead, get Rocker more fed, and that's exactly what you do not want to happen. And oh, wow, look at that Flicker.
Flicker, Dark Dominion, Scythe as well. Bobo wasting Shock, not ideal for him. Nice clean kill there on Dahoon.
Yeah, what a nice job by Rest there.
He just identified the fact that, look, I can go in here. He just flickers. He has confidence that his team is going to follow up. The perfect timing off of the Dark Dominion into the Death Scythe. There was not a second that we had Hoon able to escape. And Bubbo needs to be careful. He needs to respect exactly what Rest can do.
Yeah, and look at that. Rest has his Dark Dominion back up already. And that's something we got to watch, because Mina, like I said, is so devastating on the hands of Rest or Neo. So it's very interesting that they were willing to give that over.
Yeah, and especially knowing exactly what that hero can do. There's the Dark Dominion. The timing is perfect. Magnetic Storm to actually help deny the chase, though, with the Ethereal Pulse. Nicely done. Rocker almost securing that kill. Barely escaping his Neo.
Yeah, right now MTS is going to start getting his build. He has the Blitz Blade up. He's going to finish the Frost Cape. And that's when Valheim becomes a nuisance with his CC and his attack speed.
I think he's a little more than a nuisance, Sweet. He's just darned annoying.
Yeah, he is very annoying. I love playing him ranked, so have a good time with that.
Yeah, you literally can just kite people for days between, his Pocket Glaze, the stuns, everything coming out there as well. Just so tough to deal with. You can slow everyone down.
That was their chance. Neo's got to land these Earth Splitters, because when he does, they will secure those kills. And it's going to come down to how well they can land these abilities against a team like ALG, because every single ultimate and ability is going to matter in these team fights.
So you see both teams walking through the middle right here. Rocker acting as bait. ALG gonna say, like, hey, come on, try this out. Oh, Basic committed the Magnetic Storm, though. There's the Ethereal Pulse. Rest intentionally body blocking it for his team. What a bro.
He missed the Magnetic Storm and the Impact Barrage, unfortunately, because that would have been perfect. They would have been able to secure a kill on the Rocker if he landed that.
Because that's the combo. If you can get that set up either off the Earth Splitter or into the Earth Splitter, the Shock can be there to follow up. I still haven't seen an impactful Nature's Realm yet. At some point, I feel like we're going to see the combo come out. That's the Wombo combo I'm looking for. At least Basic is able to pick up the tower. I spoke too soon.
Yeah, they gotta be careful. Rest is gonna has his Flicker up and his engage.
Nice snipe though. The Abyssal Dragon actually going towards Toxic there. The Angelic Splinter now joining the fight. And Rest with the Death Sight. The Dark Dominion. The Shock is there to try and deny it, but still the kill comes through for Allegiance. Rest is oh so low as Bobo is trying to take him down. Not able to do so. Finally securing the kill. But ALG with the counter kill of their own, trading 2 for 1.
That was an insane play by Rest there. He flickers in, gets a Death Sight, then activates Dark Dominion. What a crazy play to allow. And KO, look at that.
Body block the Ethereal Pulse for the minions so they can kill the tower. Oh no, KO, you beast.
He's tanky on that Zenio. But
he is
Rest,
so what a heads
Rest
up play.
made that fight though. That was just phenomenal. He was getting focused down, and then he shot calls. I'm going in. The rest of the team follows up, and boom, they win that fight just like that.
I mean, it looks so good for Toxic to start things off too, because they sniped out that Dragon. I was like, yeah, maybe they can turn this around. Maybe Neo, too, of all people, sniping it. But then on the turn of a dime, Rest's like, oh, I see an opening, and they go for it. And that's one of the strengths of ALG's, the absolute trust they have in their teammates. When someone says go, they go.
Yeah, they gotta watch out for rest. Again, these death sight can pull an entire enemy team right into the Mina, and the Dark Dominion is gonna end your life on the Antares battlefield. And
It's
this
tough.
key is basic. I want him to land a clutch Impact Barrage and Magnetic Storm combo, and then combo that with the Yabenith, and then the Malik Ultimate, and then the Lumber Earth Splitter. They have such a good composition to do that.
They have a very clear order of operations, as it were, on how to take down ALG. There's a very set series of inputs that they can, just input on the phone and say, hey, that's how we win the video game. But of course, Allegiance, it's easier said than done into this squad, especially with the split pushing of KO going on all the while. They're able to just push in every single lane simultaneously. There is still yet to be a tower taken for Toxic.
Yeah, they are struggling around. Look at that, they're 4K gold behind. They're getting out-pressured in all parts of the map. AOG has a 5-man rotation, and Bobo is going to get focused here. Ooh.
Oh, he canceled the shock with the death sight. Bobo is in real deep. Sleepy is there surviving through all of this. Look at the amount of sustain on this. The Nature's Realm doing a pretty good job, though, on the flank, though. Nicely done there from Proxer. We did the Magnetic Storm doing work as well. Hoon is just getting shredded by Rocker, as Proxer is still trying to stand in the midst of them. The Redwood Rush not able to pull them back as Rocker is ripping them apart. How did Sleepy survive so long? What was that? What?
He had Essence of the Wind from Rest. He also had the damage reduction from his ultimate. So he gained a lot of barrier and protection there, allowed him to last long enough to distract. And Rocker was just hailing damage from behind. And I feel like they have to focus down Rocker because he has no defense. If they can blow up Rocker and then take care of Sleepy, then Toxic has a chance. But if they don't take care of Rocker, I don't see any way they can come back in this game.
All that started off too, and we talked about Rest last season. He had the highest overall KDA in the Valor series, and one of the heroes we hailed him on was his Alice. His ability to just take this hero and elevate it to a new level. I feel like we were seeing that once again with Mina. The second you see the animation for that shock going in,
yeah, cancel that Malik. That was beautiful. You called it perfectly. Cancel the Malik ultimate, and then Bobo just fell right underneath his tower, and that's a Malik. Malik is very tanky, so the fact that they decided to engage on a Malik on the tower was something that is a little risky, but they're so ahead, it's okay.
I mean, look at this build now from Valheim. He has his 3 core items. He is now incredibly tough to deal with. You combine that with the raw damage output that we're seeing being built from this Violet right now. The Clavis Sancti has come online there for Rocker, so watch how hard these crits are going to be hitting, especially now with this buff coming through with this Drake.
Oh, Rocker, that's their chance. Rocker got hit by the Earth Splitter, and he's so low, they have to get a... Oh my goodness, they cannot get onto him, unfortunately.
Now the Dark Dominion is there. They're trying to push on forward, the Nature's Realm, but look at the sheer amount of health that Allegiance still has at their disposal. Rocker is sitting in the back, uncontested, shredding through Bobo. All 5 members still alive. Basics being pulled back in. The Mally is to combo. Bullet Storm into the ground. That is Allegiance firing off. Hoon is trying to shred this down. The best high ground defender, but it's still not enough.
That was their chance, and Neil had such a good Earth Splitter, hitting Rocker right on the edge of it. He was stunned, and the Basic followed up with the Magnetic Storm and Impact Barrage, and then the rest of the team follow up. He would have fell because Lumber has the Rampage. He can get another knockout with his dash, so you can CC Rocker down and then kill him, and that was their moment, their window to come back in the game, but they missed it.
They had an opportunity there, just not able to follow up. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Basic is just so afraid of the damage that Allegiance can dish out. Because Morin has a very short attack range. He's just outside of the range of a melee hero. It's really tough. So every time he tries to walk forward, and Magnetic Storm has a short cast range as well. So if he wants to get these key ability off, he needs to put himself in harm's way, and there's just not the trust there with the rest of his team thinking he can actually move forward and do that. Because one shot from MTS, one tactical fire, or a tactical fire from Rocker, he's half health.
Exactly. That's why they need to focus more. You think about how they need to come back in this game. When you're ahead, you build defense. When you're behind, you build damage. Because that's the only way you can win in any fights.
Oh no, Rocker's there once again, the Angelic Splendor keeping them all alive, and that is Proxer. He's getting the Nature's Realm, doing good damage, but Sleepy endures through it. The shock is there, splitting the fight is KO as Bobo is in real deep in the back. Bobo getting shredded as KO was able to single-handedly hold off the entire side of Toxic, and he's not even that damaged.
Yeah, he was able to get a kill on Sleepy, and again, they have to engage together. They have a chance to turn these fights around. Rocker has 0 defense. Sleepy doesn't have any defense as well. If they can kill Rocker, then Sleepy, they can get back in this game, because you want to focus the person that has the least defense on the team if you're the team that's behind.
And ALG is pushing in onto the core right now. They want to end this game. Great dodge on the Earth Splitter there. Neo's the target. Pretty tanky, but not nearly enough. Perfectly chained CC from Rest. The Ethereal Pulse is in the back. Neo is going to drop, and the minions are here onto the core. That is going to be it. GG. Allegiance take game number 1.
When it comes to this week number 6 of the Valor series, we've had ups, we've had downs, but at the end of the day, we take a look at what we see as well. It's consistency. Allegiance proves just that, walking away with the Game 1 victory over Toxic in stunning fashion. Welcome back to the desk. My name is Jump. I've got Mr. Sweetjay as well as an Envirum, and I would also just like to point out, we will see the gold charts in just a second, but KO at the end of that game had 10,000 gold, which was 2.5 thousand higher than the next closest on the entirety of the roster for Toxic Esports.
Yeah, he had great Angelic Splendors. I mean, every single time, protecting Rocker when he needed it, and turning every fight in their favor decisively. And Rocker was able to just be protected. His entire team just protected him so well, and he just had a field day. The only time that he was at risk was when he ate an Ethereal Pulse ultimate from Yoon in the face for whatever reason.
We wanted to get some damage off. But actually, I actually really like this. I like forcing Rocker onto a more defensive ranged marksman because it allows his team to play how I think they would normally play against a lot of other squads with that stronger front line.
So it's funny that you brought that up. I'm sitting in the back of the control room. I'm watching this game with TJ, and TJ sitting next to me in the control room, I think felt like he was on the analyst desk because he saw something, and instead of actually talking about it, he just held his hand up and he waited for me to call on him, which was actually quite hysterical. But after I actually called on him and he gave him his point, he made a very astute observation. When they summoned the Drake in the mid lane and they had that team fight there, Rocker actually positioned himself behind the Drake so the Drake would tank the damage from the Kali ultimate, so he wouldn't take any damage off of that. There was nothing that he could protect. All of his tanks were essentially diving into the front line, or into the enemy back line. So the only thing standing in between the Kali and Rocker was the Drake. So that minute knowledge, the micro understanding of where he can position, I think, and coupling now with your point, which took forever for me to get to, was the fact that Rocker is adjusting to playing these more defensive heroes and is actually capable of doing so.
I like the point. I think it's super valid because traditionally Rocker plays aggressive, to say the least. He likes his Rourke.
He was a little risky though. That position, although the Drake was there, he still ate a significant
like half his health bar was gone.
Yeah, the Ethereal Pulse actually hit him pretty, and he doesn't have any magic defense, so he actually almost died. Bobo missed the cleave actually that would have killed him. So if Rocker barely missed the cleave from Bobo, and I felt like that was their chance to turn around that fight when they landed the Earth Splitter. There's so many stuns in Toxic's kit, but they just didn't. Again, they made more mistakes. They didn't combo together, and that's why they lost every single fight.
All right, look, guys. The Dragon just hasn't got an MVP so far in the Valor series. I wanted to give it some credit, all right? AT&T replays of the game. We've got 2 for you guys. It's Allegiance dominance all the time.
You can see here KO coming at the right moment, and look at Rest there. That was a beautiful flicker, Death Sit, and then Dark Domain right into them. And look at Bobo there, getting the kill. He's able to at least get these kills when they're so behind. That's what makes Malik so powerful. This one last hit, Rest will fall. He'll try to figure out, but he can't. The sun comes up, and he falls.
I just love the positioning of Rest there. Just a wall between himself and Rocker the entire time, never allowing Malik to get in range there. And watch this pull right there, stopping. We actually see stopping the shot coming out. The Angelic Splendor is. Watch how long Sleepy survives right here. He's tanking the entirety of the Nature's Realm. Instead of going on to Rocker, he goes on to Sleepy. Eventually does get the kill, but Rocker is still alive. The key damage. Imagine if that Nature's Realm had been going on to Rocker, how different that fight could have been.
Yeah. The nasty damage from Rocker. That was just so devastating.
All right, well, now we find ourselves coming into game number 2. Toxic will find themselves on the red side. Allegiant finds themselves on the blue, so a little bit of a side swap that we have for the pick ban phase as well as the games themselves. Adjustments.
I mean, I'm going to be honest.
Get Mina. I mean, I saw, like, Neo is amazing on Mina. Why would you take a Kali? Like, what is Kali going to do? Like, Mina was literally the reason why Allegiance won a lot of these fights, and I don't know why they didn't draft her because you cannot make a draft mistake against Allegiance.
It was rough because it's definitely Rest's best hero right now, and he's somebody who can change the pace of a game just on one hero. And I agree, you did not need to draft the Kali that high. She's not that contested, but overall, Toxic actually didn't do that bad. It was not as bad of a stomp. It was not as much as we're griping on him right now. It was not that bad of a stomp. They barely won. Or Allegiance barely won some of those team fights. It was close. Like when Ibeneth was actually able to line up a decent Nature's Realm, those fights were kind of scary there for ALG. So I don't know. I think I agree. Having Mina and having Rest not only be a shot caller, but also be able to dictate fights, able to be macro and micro shot caller, and they had the split push they wanted from KO. That is an ALG winning trifecta.
It is indeed. And AOG banning Kriknak again like they have. Arum is going to be the ban along with Ibeneth, and even with Ibeneth, Toxic lost. And Ibeneth does not have the best win rate, actually, in the Valor series, and he is so dominant inside. They never really pushed his advantage inside lane.
I think one of the reasons why is because the only times that these really new, quote-unquote, OP heroes are allowed through the draft, it's onto a team that is objectively not as good. You know what I mean? The only people who are letting them through are the teams who feel super confident. And they're like, I don't care if you get that hero, we can beat them no matter what.
I think it's kind of reverse psychology in that aspect. If you have the strong teams that know that no one is good on those heroes yet.
Yep.
And so they're fine letting them through because that essentially wastes a pick for their enemy, and then they can continue to take an advantage of them with that knowledge. So I definitely agree with that point in the sense that sometimes when you know, you just know.
I'll be curious to see where those losses are and where those. If it's a great team who has the advantage going to it and they still lose, that's when I go, okay, maybe this hero is not so good. But when it's a team who's coming into it not favored and they lose, well, then they just still lost.
Oh, they're going to actually pick Violet. So that means Mina might make it through. Arm and Mina may make it through the ban to Allegiance. And that's a scary one to give Rest. Oh, what the? They decide to ban nothing. So that will leave a lot of options open for both teams, but Arm or Mina on Allegiance is pretty scary. I mean, pretty scary on both teams, actually, so that could work out either way.
Yeah, just remember, folks, you gotta lock in those bans. Gotta lock in those bans there, guys.
Just as important as the picks are the bans.
Yeah, oh, I would agree, yeah. I mean, because the bans actually dictate the entire pace of the draft. I would almost argue that in a lot of cases, the bans are more important than the picks, because if you have a lot of situations like you have an entire roster of jungle heroes who are all fairly similar, and you can just plug and play a lot of them, I would argue that in some cases the bans are more important.
Definitely, the bans just, you want to deny heroes that make or break your comp, or just broken on a
or will
specific
break
player.
your comp.
Yeah, and Mina on Rest was just too strong. Without Chognar, Mina is just uncontested. The only way you can win is you have to position better, spread out, do not let Mina get the value that she gives. Right now, Arum and Mina are the top priorities, but they just may not want to deal with Marja or Mina. Probably be a smarter ban, honestly. Marja is not a big deal because you have Rioma. Rioma counters Marja in lane. Elias will probably pick up either Arum or Mina here.
I think you still grab the Arum in this situation. As good as Rest is on that Mina, Arum is just, well, I would argue actually they're pretty equally game changing.
Arum is one of the few it is the only one with a 100% pick ban rate and 100% coinciding win rate over in North America, actually.
Oh wow!
Hilariously enough,
super strong
it's like 3 games though for context.
Support.
Yeah.
2 OP. Mina is a good pick. They should pick Mina here because Arm can be played side lane. They should still pick up the Mina because if they take Mina and Arm, that's GG. Rocker has a lot of protection. They have a lot of CC. They can probably put KO on Rioma. That's even more CC. That's a pretty scary draft to hand over to them. And
it's tough. It's tough.
There we go.
There we go. At least they got the
Nice.
Mina. I like this. This is the best 1-2 you could ask for is Toxic, 100%. So we had this. I had this conversation. You, me, and TJ were having this conversation earlier about how Arum functioned. You guys are arguing side lane versus support and all this different stuff about how you kind of laner and all these different discussions. And you know, the way we discussed Arum is the idea of trading up. Is the idea that how the snare functions going into these team fights. If you can snare and kill a mid or a marksman, high value target, then you've done your job, which is why I like laning her as a support, not investing the resources.
Look at that, they're going to side lane her.
They are going to side lane her.
Going to be the support.
I like it, but this is the other side of this. So explain the side lane Arum as well.
As long as you snare someone that has less defense and less health than you, so you don't trade and you can get out of it unscathed and still alive, then it's worth it. And that's where Arum side lane just has to get fed. And because she's more fed, she can get her levels and pressure the early game. That's why sideline arm makes a lot of sense.
That does make a lot of sense because you'd be able to keep her.
Oh,
I was really hoping we were going to see a
mind.
rest. I was really hoping we were going to see a rest on that because that would be.
Again, I think this plays into your point earlier. I don't think he's ready yet.
Yeah.
I think that rest, especially.
He takes a while.
He takes a while to pick up new heroes. He definitely likes to grind out them mechanically, but more importantly, he likes to grind them out compositionally. This is something that Allegiance has done very well. They don't pick bad compositions. Like that's just a fact at this point in time. They have specific these 2-3 hero pools for each of their players. Not that they can't play more than that, but that's what they have for their competitive metas, and that's what they like to keep with the Kali again, though, for Hoon.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Crixie would be better. Crixie just works really well into Liliana. We saw that happen at Arena Valor World Cup. So Hoon not playing Crixie kind of worries me. It's Kali, you know, the ultimates did land, but it didn't really make that much big of a difference.
Actually, yeah, I love Crixie with Mina. That combo is awesome. Able to keep people in place, get the Nature's Wrath off of it, the perfectly timed CC chain, landing the Mischief, landing the Moonfall. Like it's tough to deal with. Once again, we're seeing Rocker grinding out this Violet, playing a little more defensive. I like this. But ALG, they look at what Chinese Taipei. They look at Eastern teams, and then they just do that. There's no transition. They don't try and like adjust it, make it. They just take what the Asian teams are doing, and that's what they do. It's really simple.
Yeah, they can do Irie. They can do Ryoma. Ryoma makes the most sense because he's so strong on KO. KO shines on Ryoma. Just watch how he lands his Willing Blades and his Spectral Ire ultimate. That is a hero that KO was known for all throughout Season 1 and even 2.
It's it would be a good pick here. I would not like the Sleepy. I really like the Ryoma here for him. The only other one I could possibly think of that's still available. I mean, no, that's really it. I like the Ryoma here. They could try and do something a little bit more wonky. But I think that's definitely. Oh, Rocker, you troll!
I mean, hey, you wanted something wacky, you wanted wacky. Well, Wisp is definitely going to fill that role.
But he's actually been playing Wisp really, really well. I guarantee his team didn't. He didn't ask his team that. He did that himself.
Seo could work. Finnick could also work. I mean, a lot of options could work. But I think what they want is Crash, and the range that they have is probably better to pick up the Slims or the Lindis here and just play the range game because they have Slims and Kali, lots of range. And they can combo Mina, Valheim stun with the Malik stun and a Flying Spear stun from Slims. So Slims would be an excellent choice here. And it's going to come down to how they're going to execute.
Oh, but keep in mind, Violet's still on the board, though.
Yeah, Violet is still on the board, but I still think Slims is better. But that's fine.
The stun to line up
It
so
creates
easy.
less mistakes. Because if you get land stuns, you can just follow up. You miss a stun, okay, well, wait. And then let's throw another spear. So it allows them to make up for their misplays or mistakes. Because again, Basic has missed a lot of his Magnetic Storms and Impact Barrages. So maybe he's not as comfortable on Slims because you have to land your Flying Spears. So Violet is more of an easier skill shot hero to play.
Yeah, her skill shots are very much just point and click. Easy peasy.
All right, well, taking a look at these compositions now, Toxic finds themselves with a little bit more complete draft than what they had in game number 1, specifically securing away the Mina. What are we thinking in the first few minutes of this game? What are we thinking of now finding a way, because clearly we have decided, and I think this is a unanimous decision, that if you want to beat Allegiance, you have to beat them early and you have to beat them well. How can that happen with Toxic with the composition that they've drafted?
They have to counter and trade because Ryoma and Arum are going to win the early game in this situation. Unless they do a 5-man rotate and they can pressure out Rocker, because Wisp is so weak early. So they need to either figure out how to shut down Wisp early or just trade, and then once they hit the level 4 power spikes, they then need to take advantage, get a gank, and get Dragon. They cannot give up Dragon to Allegiance because every time Allegiance is securing the objective over Toxic.
That's hard to contest into a Crest, though. Which, keep in mind...
Before level 4.
You try to trade it before level 4, but I don't think MTS is walking to that Dragon Pit at 2 minutes unless he's got level 4. Let's be real here. I don't actually think you win this. I think the Crest will guarantee that Allegiance wins the early game, and that just means they win.
All right, well, as teams are getting themselves closer to Sao Paulo, it is trying to find the images on the walls, the string theories that match up, whatever it may be, to find the weak links of Allegiance. Well, lucky for you, we can go ahead and get you started on that. That's www.valorseriesEsports.com, where you can get all of the screenshots, all of the things. Schedule, standings, video content, and things. Game is starting. Game number 2 of our match number 1 between Toxic and Team Allegiance. They find themselves up 1-0. Draft has improved for Toxic, but is it going to be enough?
Well, Jump, we're about to find out all the stuff and things in game number 2, as already KO and Bobo are having some fun, and Rest does lifesteal things.
Again, Arm is just too strong in the early game. You cannot fight her as a melee hero, so Malik will have to back off here and be careful because KO can also poke him with the Whirling Blade and the Naginata Jutsu there. So
I love that passive name. That is literally my favorite
it's so
passive.
long.
It's Naginata Jutsu.
I gotta make sure I pronounce it
so
correctly
good.
sometimes.
It's so good. He's got the pinwheel there as well, a little bit of additional mobility when he hits level 2, so watch for that. No first blood and no significant invade though. Ooh, but that's actually, speaking of invades, up there in the top lane, Ryoma's getting jumped on right now as Basic makes the rotation. Bobo might pay for this with his life right now if Rest can actually grab this kill. Basic literally can't do anything at this point as long as he can stay in range. Oh, Rest.
He's got to stay back. Oh, Rest might be able to get the kill. He does not.
Oh,
and
anyways.
he's going to fall.
Oh,
whoa.
baited Basic and Bobo.
What a tournament. Now Basic and Toxic, they kind of make mistakes. They have the lead, set up for Dragon. They need to reset soon, get full health, and then make the play for Dragon here.
And Rocker, if he walks into this bush, Rocker down to the bottom there by the Dragon, needs to be very careful right now. As Neo and Prox were there, luckily MTS is in a position to able to back him up.
Yeah, this is their chance here. Dragon is going to spawn soon. We know Rocker got pretty low here. And if they can potentially take a Dragon as well as these 2 kills, they can get a nice lead in the early game. That's exactly how you want to beat.
That's what I say. They needed to find it. I didn't think they were going to be able to once level 4 was reached here for ALG, but Toxic is drawing blood before level 4 is even reached. There's the beautiful death sight. Sleepy's just going to be gone. Nicely done. The uncaged from Rest, not nearly enough. Hey-oh, Toxic finding some footing here in game number 2. This is exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, now is their chance to secure this Dragon. 4-man rotation, perfect decision making here. Bobo's going to hold the top lane. Rest is going to be CC'd by Proxer, and they get the Dragon 2K gold lead almost against Allegiance. This is unheard of so far.
I mean, well, it happened once actually, but their name was Tribe, the team who did this up against ALG. Seems like Toxic took an O from them. You even commented this. You said if there's one place that ALG is weak, it's their early game.
Yeah, early game is something that they definitely need to work on because it was shown in the Arena Valor World Cup. It's just against teams that are super strong that draft early game comps, they have to be careful and not make as many mistakes. And wow, look at that barrel.
That barrel from Rocker was absolutely massive, putting him against the wall. They're actually diving into that tower here as well, as we do see the invade up top. Oh, the Dark Dominion, the Flicker is there as well. The Ethereal Pulse trying to lock down Rest, not quite able to do so. Actually trading out there, beautifully done. So a double kill for ALG during all that. They do grab Prox under the tower, and they are able to grab Neo, who dives a little bit too deep.
Again, mistakes and misplays. And look at this. They might be able to get the bot tower, which is now going to put Allegiance right back into the game. And it's not what you want to do. You do not want to make mistakes against Allegiance. It's exactly what we've talked about, and they just did that.
And now we're seeing Allegiance convert this into the Dragon Side Tower, which is going to give them additional levels of control for these following Dragon fights, which is massive for them because that's something that if they get even a scrape more of a, let's say, advantage in these early fights, they're just going to walk all over Toxic.
They are going to walk over Toxic. So Toxic, the next fight, the next decisions to get a gank or make a play, they have to execute it and make it work because that was a misplay in top lane. And they allowed them to lose against... Oh, what is this? Bobo.
Bobo's going in deep. He's going aggressive. That's an Ethereal Pulse that's hitting absolutely nothing. Maybe finally connecting with Rest a little bit here, but Sleepy's sitting in the bush, waiting for them to try and overextend. That was an optimistic shock.
Big trouble here.
Yeah, MTS is blowing that Metamorphosis, push them on through in mid as well. We're seeing a fight breaking out here. If Neo can get the Death Scythe, not actually able to find it there. That could have been massive though, but what was that? Already forcing back Proxer to start things off as a Crashed? That's a fun time.
Yeah, and now Rocker's going to take this Dragon. That's going to be the first Dragon for Allegiance, and it's going to put them right dead even with Toxic, or maybe slightly ahead here.
In just a second, when all the gold runs on through, ALG recovering from their disastrous early game, getting a few kills of their own, getting a little bit of gold, and they're about to be ahead here in just a little bit if they can pick up even one more kill.
Oh yeah, look at this. Rest is going to get pulled back in there. He's going to get pretty low, but he's fine.
He's forced to use the flicker to escape, though, and that's an engagement tool they are not going to have now. So that could actually be big coming up.
Yeah,
on
that
this
is
next
huge.
fight.
This is their chance to put pressure on top and try to get a tower. They have to put pressure because they have got someone pretty low. Oh, KO is going to get hit by it, but there's no follow-up.
A little bit late on that pinwheel. Yeah, where's the follow? I mean, these shocks have been optimistic from Bobo, but there needs to be the follow-up there. Neo's going in. There's the Dark Minion looking for. There's the Ethereal Pulse combo, finally connecting onto Rest, but who was just a little bit too far out of range. The Minions taking the last shot there. Rest, do not walk in that. Sir, you are so far back. Sleepy body blocking for him, not allowing Basis to get that final shot.
Yeah, look at the mid lane. Rocker is going to push mid lane, try to get mid tower, but Prox is going to show up just in time, and they're going to get this top tower. So really nice persistence there. No, they do not. That is unfortunate. MTS is going to show up here, and they're going to all back off, which is very smart from Toxic. Again, don't want to give any more deaths over because you're dead even right now.
And ALG as well, very smartly, just going to back up, just going to reset, allow Rocker to farm. As you said, Wisp, not a great late game hero, but or early game hero, but late game, she does fairly well. However, into a Violet and a Valheim.
Yeah, Violet is much better late game.
The scaling of Toxic, if this goes post 10, 12, 13 minutes, I don't actually think ALG can win this.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Toxic can make it to that point, and are they going to execute their comp or continue to make mistakes? They're going to give up this free tower here. Again, they don't want to do that, but they will.
So that's the situation where I'm actually fine with Hoon using the ult to burn down the minion wave, as we do have the combo, the shocking off, the metamorphosis.
Oh, that was disgusting. Metamorphosis followed up with a shock and all ultimate. Bam, the crits hit, and you know that shock all, it can crit, and that's exactly what Rocker did. That synergy, that decision making, that teamwork from Allegiance, this is why they are the best in North America.
Now we're seeing a potential 2v1 situation down here in the bottom. KO is able to escape for now. But yeah, as you said, that was just sick. I talked about MTS on Crash. Just you put him on a hero that has this much playmaking potential, and it is absolutely terrifying. That metamorphosis was picture perfect.
Yeah, look at the crit coming out. Oh my goodness, 1,500 crits from Wisp. Has
First
the
item,
Clav
Clavis Sancti.
Sancti. That is just devastating.
That's so tough to deal with. As you said, it crits on the ult.
Yeah, if you have no armor against crit, you're gonna get blown up pretty fast there.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, MTS is gonna be able to reset his Crash Metamorphosis anytime soon here. Let's see if Toxic can compete.
We're gonna see if they can here. They're going in, leasing the dragon, so not a little bad play here from them. Rest is getting chunked, but Neo is gonna be the target, going in with the aquatic shield. And can Toxic follow up on this? They have, it's a 4v4 situation right now. Rion was actually forced back, KO. So this is the shot, this is the moment, the opportunity for Toxic to make something happen.
I'm not sure if they're aware though, unfortunately. Rocker is getting fed. Level 12 to level 10 of basic. He has more damage. He's gonna, oh my god, Sleepy just finished a boomstick as well. That damage output from Allegiance just got much bigger.
Yeah, he clears these camps in seconds. Bobo is going to have to burn the shock to get out here, but will it be predicted? Look at how Rest is sitting way at the back. He's predicting if he turns around, he's going to have the snare. There it is. Oh, Rest, you made me look silly there because you went too far forward. That was really obviously going to happen, guys. I'm sorry.
Man.
They still get the snare, but now he has to burn a little bit more to make it happen. That was a little bit of a misplay.
Secure the kill on the bow. And they're going to get the kill on Rocker. Nice push there.
He almost kills 3 of them to do it, and MTS is actually using this as a speed boost. He's not even worrying about the stun right now, getting the rest of his team in place as if one member of Toxic is going to fall, potentially make it 2 in basic as Rest is shaking down the rest. There's 2, looking for 3. Can they make it 4? Sleepy is on the flank. If he finds Proxer, it's all over.
Yeah, they're going to have to run here and be very careful. And look at that beautiful binding light. Sleepy is going to try to dash in, but Proxer is going to get a stun off and run to safety.
That was oh so close for Toxic. Rocker did so much damage before he dies. He's like, avenge me, brothers! And Allegiance came in on the flank. Bobo, what are you doing with these shocks? There is, I mean, I get that you're using the clear minion wave, but like,
I want to see them combo these ultimates, because when they do with the Mina Dr. Minion, that's going to be very clutch. And then into a soul summoning and Ethereal Pulse from Kali, woo, they can do a lot of work. And AoE damage from Violet, that's the only chance I see Toxic can make it back into this game, is they have to be more decisive than AOG. Catch AOG off guard so that AOG can't respawn back. But we know that AOG, one of the best teams when it comes to counter-engaging.
So far, we've only seen Toxic really dictate the pace of one fight. Often it's just been situations like this, where individual members are getting caught out. Oh. Look at the chain CC there.
Oh, bye-bye.
Oh, Bobo. A lot of resources committed to that. Like, look at how long it takes to kill him.
Yeah,
and in the midst, once again, is this Deja Vu, Sweet Jay?
It is Deja Vu. Now the Enraged Abyssal Dragon will be spawning, which is a perfect opportunity for ALG to pick this up. But they will get this tower here. And they may potentially put more pressure on top lane, but look at this 4-man rotation or 3-man rotation by ALG down mid.
They are looking to collapse. They actually spawned the Drake back. So this is actually going to be an interesting question for Toxic. How do you respond to this? And they're going to protect it in the jungle. They're actually trying to use the Drake as bait. And then ALG is going to set up a fight off the back of this. This is actually a really smart play, and it gives a chance for them to push out these minion waves in unison and also give these buffs to these minions here in mid. I love this play from ALG.
Who's got to use ultimate? What is he doing? He needs to use ultimate and clear that wave as soon as possible. Again, too late. His ultimate's coming out now, but that's not enough. You want to just take care of that Drake first.
And Rest is intentionally body blocking for the minions there, making sure that he is tanking that up additionally. The tower almost goes down, but it's little plays like that. We've seen it here, identifying that when the minions' HP bar is more valuable than their own, when it comes to pushing those towers, that's 100% true.
Yeah, oh man, what a nice double stun there by Rest from the Uncaged. However, no follow-up. They got to back off a little bit. Oh, they could have engaged there. I don't know why. His ult was up. They could have killed Rest. He could have Dr. Minion and killed Rest there with that engage, so they're pretty low.
I'm pretty surprised. Yeah, he's not super...
Oh,
no, the Shock and Awe goes in. The crit, KO on the flank, the Shock in the back, the Metamorphosis as well to split the team.
Oh my
God.
God.
MTS, the follow-up crits from Rocker as Bobo is getting melted like butter as they push down the mid lane. That is going to be it. They have the minion waves. They have the damage. Allegiance in 11 minutes and 30 seconds take game number 2.
When the good get going, the good get going. Allegiance in that, meanwhile, was the good, and they kept going, and they haven't stopped just yet. They walk away with yet again a 2-0 victory, continuing their undefeated streak of the Valor series in Season 2. Welcome back to the desk. We just saw Toxic find themselves in some unfortunate situations, as it looks like Allegiance clearly had the cure.
Toxic had such a good early game. 2K goal lead over Allegiance. 3 kills up, and it came back in that mid phase of the game, the beginning of the mid. They made a mistake in top lane, died, bottom lane got ganked. Allegiance took the dragon and came right back in the game like that. And like I said, this is a game about making less mistakes. So Toxic have some hope. They just gotta practice more. But Allegiance just shined as they always do in that late game. The way they're engaging, their decisiveness, the metamorphosis from MTS, and the snares from Rest. Oh my goodness, comboed with the Shock and Awe from Rocker. It was just too much. Too much.
Really though, this just shows that ALG has a weakness. You know, they've been lying on their pile of gold for too long, and there's this little spot down there, you know. You gotta watch that, because again, against a better team, they are not going to get those opportunities to come back. You talk about it, the team who makes less mistakes, and Toxic just doesn't have enough overall well-rounded experience to punish them. They're not polished. They have the potential. But against a team that ALG may see at something like, I don't know, an AIC, if they continue to do things like that, they're just going to get bopped.
I want to see, and this might be a stretch, and I might be going down the TJ route with this, what's the word I'm looking for? Hypothetical. I want to see Geo play Allegiance.
That would be sick.
Specifically because Geo is, I would probably say, the most successful in the first 5 minutes out of every team out of the Valor series. So early game aggression out of everything is extremely strong. There is warrant to potentially think about Nova Nova on the side over in Europe, but Geo Esports, by and large, they get these mechanical lead early, and they have these hard rotations in the early game. I'd be interested to see what that matchup would look like. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, when with assuming both of these teams, I believe they're all both officially locked now. They're going to Sao Paulo. Scrims. I'd love to sit in on scrims. When we get to Sao Paulo, I'd love to sit in and actually see how some of those go down, because it could be an option. I mean, you find yourself, Sujay, on both of those regions, both Latin America and North America. While we have a couple seconds, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think North America is ahead in the meta. They love Mina. They play more aggressive competition. They understand draft ban a lot better. I think Latin America, one thing they do better in the ban draft is they target ban one another. So that's what I do like about them. However, their meta is not as up to date. They are catching up, though. You see teams like Geo playing more of the Mina aggressive combinations that NA is dishing out, and that's going to help them a lot because they need to catch up. Because when regions meet each other, the more aggressive region that has the more early game aggressive meta is always the region that comes out ahead.
Geo, ALG at Sao Paulo. I would cast the heck out of that show match.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be so fun.
I think we, whether it be just chilling somewhere, I want to see that happen. I think that needs to be a thing because I agree, Jump. That would be a sick match.
There might not be a prize pool on the line, but maybe us three, the fourth, and maybe a couple extra people can throw in some money to buy him dinner or something for the winner of that match. I don't know, something like that.
Loser buys dinner.
Loser
pride
buys,
on the line.
Loser buys dinner. Actually, we'll make Ziva and his maniacal laugh actually buy everybody dinner. Surprise! All right, let's get down to it though. We just saw a 2-0 victory into the lead of Allegiance, continuing their domination streak. But we're not done yet. We still have one more match to go as Veni Vidi Vici goes up against Granite Esports when the Valor Series returns.
Fala galera, beleza? Hoje eu vou levar vocês para dar um rolê gastronômico na cidade de São Paulo. Começando aqui pelo Mercadão Municipal. Para me ajudar nessa tarefa, eu vou encontrar com a minha amiga carioca, a Camilota. Vem comigo, bora!
E agora é a hora. A gente marcou aqui 10 horas da manhã. Tecnologia! Oi, gente!
Vou dar uma mão aí.
Ah, cara, sai, compra o teu, sai. A pessoa vem me apresentar. O mercado municipal chega atrasado. Eu sou do Rio de Janeiro e já tava aqui.
Tô com fome.
Vamos bora comer.
Bora!
Pelo amor de Deus.
Aqui no Mercadão, galera, as frutas são frescas, as frutas são exóticas, tem fruta de tudo quanto é tipo, tâmara com morango, graviola, tem kiwi bananinha, maracujazinho, tem de tudo aqui.
Aí eu vou cuidado.
Esse é o famoso. E agora, Camilota, vou levar você para conhecer outros lugares de São Paulo.
Vai ser comendo de novo?
Mais comida!
Eu saí rolando pro Rio de Janeiro.
Bora!
Tá entendendo.
Agora viemos trazer vocês aqui pro bairro da Liberdade, pra Camilota conhecer também. Aqui tem muita culinária japonesa e asiática, só que tá bastante calor, né, Camilota? Vamos tomar um chazinho gelado?
Bora.
Bora! O que tem no seu, Camilota?
Yakult, laranja e cereja.
Yakult, blueberry e kiwi.
Nossa, a melhor parte é a bolinha que estoura, quando estoura na boca.
É uma explosão de sabor. Viemos lá da Liberdade, aqui pro Bexiga, bairro de cultura italiana, cheio de cantinas, muito legal. E daqui a pouquinho a gente vai jantar, hein, Camilota?
Jantar?
É, uma massa.
Tô bem, galera. Muito obrigada.
We saw consistency as the name of the game for Allegiance as they have now established themselves at 16-0 at the end of week number 6. But the Valor Series continues, of course. Here we have North America match number 2. My name is Jump. I'm joined here by Mr. Sawijay and Mr. Inverum. We've got Veni Vidi Vici versus Kranis Esports, teams that have found themselves struggling quite a bit as they find themselves on the bottom of the leaderboards. But now we can start breaking up the conspiracy theory, potentially so, and maybe see if we can get some Kranis a win.
Yeah, can Kranis get a win? Because they really need it. And if they win, they're going to break 2 things. Their own record and also be the first team that is a lower seed that beats a higher seed.
Yes.
But Veni Vidi Vici, they're a team that has gotten better, but still very shaky.
Yeah, so Kranis, while they do have 2 wins on the scoreboard, they got those wins by default. Week number 1 when Tribe was unable to back when they were Marauders, not able to field the roster. Kranis has yet to win a game in the Valor Series. This, at all, period. This is their chance to do it. If there was any time they've improved, they have Beast. Let's go, Kranis! This is your moment!
All right, well, this is your moment. In the meanwhile, let's go ahead and talk about Veni Vidi Vici and their roster. They have made themselves quite a few changes coming into the second half of the season. We've got Ninja, McFly, Wasim, Rude, and Wizard. Who's the X factor for this match?
Definitely Ninja, of course, but I think Wasim is a new addition recently. He needs to step up. I know Rude and Wizard are working in their synergy as well. It's going to come down to, can Wasim continue to improve and help Ninja really carry the team? Because Ninja always comes in too late, gets tons of damage out. Everyone on the opponent team is like a sliver of health left, and then he dies. And they just need to wait for Ninja to get there and then fight with Ninja, and Veni Vidi Vici will have a much more solid engage.
I think it's less about one individual member needing to step up on VVV, and it's everyone who's been slightly underperforming just needs to come up a little bit. And if they can do that, I think they'll be in okay shape.
All right, well, now switching over to Kranis Esports, the team that we know is looking for a win. Guys, I hate to break it to you, but there is a substitution that's coming in. Doze is being subbed out for Ruby. There are power outages in Nebraska right now.
Oh, wow.
So, unfortunately, despite the fact that Arena of Valor is a delightful game that you can literally play anywhere, doesn't always work when you don't have power.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But those, you know, he had a good crash, so looking forward to see how Ruby's going to be able to play. He did play Yorn in the side lane, so I'm really excited to see what other heroes Ruby can show us. However, Kranis as a team in general has 1.02 KDA, the lowest in the entire Valor series. And compared to Veni Vidi Vici, they have 1.418 KDA, but Kranis dies way more often. I mean, they had 36 deaths yesterday, and they only had 2 kills. So
they have over 220 deaths.
Yes.
So far in the Valor series. That's a lot of deaths. But, you know, Vaor's back from Singapore. He was over there chilling with you. And now he's here. Beast is here, so maybe. I know they have a sub, but maybe. I'm just saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance.
Maybe usually means that there's a chance. But is there actually a chance? Predictions. Inverum, you're going first.
2-0 for VVV. I don't know. That's tough.
I do like Beast. I do like Vaor.
I do.
So I'm going to go on a limb here and say 1-1. Please don't get me wrong.
Should I join you?
No,
okay.
you can't.
No, too late, man.
Too late. Oh.
Hey, you're either for them or you're against them. It's the way it works.
Okay. I guess I'm going 2-0 for VV.
All right.
Jesus, calm down. Settle.
I'm very settled.
Okay.
I'm fantastic.
Good.
All right. What do you guys think about it? Do you vote on the side of Kranis? Are they going to find themselves their first win in the Valor Series? Or is it going to be VVV that shuts them down? Hashtag Valor Series on Twitter. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your predictions. We're getting ourselves into the draft now. Let's talk about what we can expect to possibly see from both of these teams.
I think it comes down to the 2 side laners. For example, Rude and versus Zune or Ruby. What happens I see is when they both get Kresh or Malak, they waste the ultimates a lot. Kresh is out of position, and they don't use the ultimates to make a team fight happen and win the team fight. It's always a defensive ultimate because they're out of position, and they both take fights too early. The team is not with them. They're not all in position. They're not grouped up, and they start taking these fights and falling domino effect one by one, and then just giving the other team aces. And that's a clear indicator of just a lack of decision making, because the more deaths you give, that just shows you that you like feeding.
It's really just that they see an opening, they see an opening for themselves, and they don't look at the bigger picture. Like, look, wow, I see where that metamorphosis is. Ooh, that'd be a sick 2-man metamorphosis. Yeah, let's do it, team. We good team. Hello, team. And team's like halfway across the map, and you're in there alone, and then everyone else starts piling. Oh, I can help. Oh, then I can help. Oh, I can help. And as you said, it's the domino effect. just chaining off kills. But it's whichever team can initiate these fights as like at least 3 people, they're the one who's going to have a huge advantage.
I agree. The one that is more decisive is the one that's going to win. And with that being said, there will be decisively banning away Bennett. Will the ARM ban come out? We just saw ARM win so many games. That's why she's so good as a first pick constantly. So red side, you have to ban ARM and then target ban another hero like maybe Valheim. But Valheim has not been seeing a lot of success lately, actually. He's been winning and losing 50% of his matches or so, around that amount. So it's very interesting to see how every region has adapted to the Valheim pick because he was such a meta ban.
Hilariously enough, Valheim actually has the highest win percentage in North America, 75%.
Oh, wow.
75% North America. You take a look at the other regions. Excuse me. You take a look at the other regions. It's a lot smaller. So
Yeah, well, his percentage is going to drop after today because we did see him lose against Allegiance. And Valheim still very strong. And ARM also very strong, so Kranitz definitely need to ban away the ARM the next one. And Venevici, they may maybe ban away Zenio. Zenio is a pretty popular pick in side lane as well. And there you go.
There it is. So the question comes, is it the ARM? Is it the Marja? Is it the Violet?
They better ban ARM.
Ban ARM, please, Kranitz.
Please, Kranitz. Kranitz, I'm rooting for you. The orange juice with the headset.
Logo.
Orange,
Their logo's
orange, sorry.
I really want to hear the story behind that logo. Is it an orange? It looks like an orange.
It looks like an orange. I think it's an orange.
Can we get confirmation somehow on that? I'd be really curious to get the story behind that team logo.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks, Jump.
I'll make that.
Thanks, Jump.
I'll put that on my.
I'm sure that'll be a priority for you during this.
Yeah, I'll put that on my my list of notes. How's this? I'll find out everything. I'll find out everything about Kranitz and their logo, but you're probably not going to have North American stats next weekend. So you got it. It's a trade-off.
Never mind.
Okay, there we go.
I'll look at it.
Ooh, Crash will be prioritized. It's a huge priority for both the teams, actually. So I do like that first pick. Malik is now open, though. You left some pretty strong power picks open because you picked up that Crash. Annette is also open. Do they play Annette, though?
I don't want either team to pick Annette here because Annette is a you can screw up your own team as much as screwing up your opponents. Let's keep it a little bit more simple. I'd love to see a Violet. I would love to see a Malik maybe coming in there, as you said, as well. Could be really, really great. Talanis would not be the pick that I would be really... It's despite the fact that I personally drafted her earlier.
Can I change my prediction now?
No, you're just...
Please.
If I wasn't allowed to change, Sweet J.
Hey, if he's not allowed to change...
Honest, what the...
It'll be a Violet.
Pick,
Give it a second. Give it a second.
Annette.
Give it a second.
No, don't pick Violet.
Don't pick Annette. Don't pick Annette.
Pick Annette. Now.
I like how we... It's less comments.
Command you. The power of something commands you. The power of... Okay,
there it is. Oh, look. Those are the right two picks.
Okay, I like it. Okay, it's better. But Annette's still open. You're going to give Annette over.
Annette requires hyper... We just criticized both these teams for not having the correct amount of team play.
Watch Annette get picked up here. Because Ben and Venevici knows what they're doing. Do they?
I hope so. For the sake of my predictions.
I just want to say...
Ninja on his Raz.
There it is.
By the way, Ninja has the highest average kills on his team. And he's a key part of... Oh my god, that's kind of scary, actually.
Jump, sorry, what was your point?
Oh, I was just going to say that as a passive bystander in this specific instance, it is quite the spectacle to watch you guys arguing about the
picks.
No, not even the picks. It's just pick a net.
Oh, what? Ninja will not play his Raz?
He should play his Raz.
I like his Raz,
His Raz is really good. We have actually, I think of any of the mids, in any of the Valor Series regions, the Raz players are the standout players. What do you think about that? Like, you think about Ninja.
Yeah, it takes a lot of skill.
You think about...
Fists of Fury, man.
Yeah, you think about... who's playing earlier, whose Raz is unreal, and Ladam.
We have Ruiz.
Ruiz is particularly good. Anyway, there's a bunch of really good Raz players, was the point I was trying to make.
Well, they pick up the Arduin here, potentially, that could show up. Or I would like them to pick up Ryoma. I would love to see Ryoma because that gives him such a strong early game. Crush is weak early, Kirknack, Lilian all weak early. You get Ryoma with Malik, you can just invade. And Annette or Pyrrha? Yeah, there we go.
Pyrrha Jinnar? Have some fun. Pyrrha Jinnar, go do it.
Pyrrha Jinnar could work. They don't need to pick Jinnar now, though. They can pick Ryoma and just secure their early game dominance. Or even Marja if they want to play Marja early game.
Oh, yeah, Marja's still
That would work really well.
So, I have a present for you guys.
Oh.
2 presents. 1, you still get stats next week.
Yay.
2, it's not an orange.
Ah.
It's just an angry man. apparently.
Just an angry face. Could
We're
it be
getting,
an orange?
I'm getting confirmation it's not an orange. It's just supposed to represent an angry gamer.
And okay, all right.
Oh, and they actually have played a lot of Pure, actually. And they ban it away. Kranis has banned it often. So that's a good pick for him. Maybe you're comfortable with it. Yorn on Ruby as expect. Oh, no, that's not Ruby. Ruby's on the other side. Yorn is a counter to Malik on the side lane. So if they pick Yorn, that's very smart. Roxy, I'm not too feeling. Oh, there is the Annette. Boom. Last pick. That is such a surprise. Oh, my goodness. Last phase of the pick phase is Annette being picked up. That's just crazy to me because she's definitely the second strongest support after Aurum.
It means we're going to be seeing Crushed in the side lane, not on the support position. So we'll see how that picks up for them here. I don't mind this. We're actually going to be seeing Crest in the Slayer then, potentially.
I also just want to say...
Slayer is probably the Yorn with the Malik, yeah.
Right.
I also just want to say we clearly don't get to see the entire splash image of Annette, but the full getup that she has of this,
It's cool.
I wish there's a lot to be said about the Technoblade butterfly skin, but I wish that we had knowledge that Annette, was coming to the battlefield before we actually started the cosplay workshop.
That would be cool.
Because I actually would have really enjoyed to see what an Annette cosplay would be like.
Oh,
That could have been fun.
Come on, not Kali.
They don't have enough of a front line for Kali, not even close.
No, pick Jinnar. Jinnar,
please. Yeah,
they
go in.
Jump in on you.
Everybody goes in. Shock goes into fall.
Cricknack
Shock,
wants to jump
Ryu, Flicker with the Exuberance, throw a Nature's Rally on top of that, and that's a death ball, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go, North America.
Or
I
even
believe
Flash. Get the Flash in there.
Yeah.
Combo it with Ari, combo with Pure, combo with Malik. Flash is a much better pick. Credits. Don't mess with my prediction. Get that 1-1, man. Do it for...
I like how every other region we comment on the potential of draft. Thank you. And on this one,
Jinnar
we
I do
both,
like Flash better, though.
We've both been coaches in various MOBAs, and we just channel that during North, because these are our, these are, our up-and-coming students of the game, you know what I mean? We just try and give them all the love that we can, and it is going to be the Jinnar Pura combo. Cran has actually put themselves together a pretty solid draft.
So now looking and see what we have, Veni Vidi Vici finds themselves with the Annette in their hands. Now, looking at what they have in the mobility as well as just the raw damage output that you have in the Cricknack and the Liliana and the Yorn could create some opportunities for Veni Vidi Vici, though.
Yeah, I'm really afraid of the Crash. One good Crash engage, and it's kind of bye-bye to Kranis there. They don't have anything to respond to it. If he lands a nice engage and Cricknack just jumps in with drone drop, boom, explosions happen.
If they can weather that storm and they can unleash one of their own, maybe Kranis has a chance.
All right, well, while we get ourselves loaded onto the battlefield, one last time, we want to give you guys the excellence that is giveaways. We've got it, of course, region locked yet again, Europe, North America, and Latin America. Make sure you put in the code for your respective region. We've got everything from trial cards to gems to level 2 arcanas, all sorts of goodness that you can find with the a roll of the dice, but more importantly, just inserting the characters into your app.
And the region locked.
Yes, for the 12th time in a row.
And it's free.
Actually, and it's not the 12th time. We do this
We should
three
do this
times.
multiple times a show, man.
We do this 3 times a day, every day. So this is the 36th time that I'm telling you it's region locked. If you didn't know,
now you know.
Now you know.
All right. Compositionally speaking, who comes out on top at the end of this draft?
I like both compositions. I feel the early game of the Malik is going to help a little bit, and it's going to come down to can they shut down the Cricknack and Liliana weakness early, and Kranis needs to win early to get ahead, and then hopefully snowball.
Kranis' draft is much more intuitive, but I think if the skill cap can be executed by VVV, if they can split a little bit more, poke to start these fights off, that'll be fine.
Are they fine enough for you to keep the prediction the way that you have?
Yep.
All right, good. You weren't going to get to change it. I just wanted to know.
That's why I knew that. I was going to stick to my guns no matter what. You're just going to try and make me look silly.
And Viram, you do that all by yourself. I don't need...
do, to be fair.
I do, and you share the same seat as TJ, and so, like, your auras kind of, like, mixed together.
I can feel it, like, it's rubbing off on me. I just feel like this sardonic humor just creeping in, you know what I mean? Just in the back, this British voice in my head. It's scary.
But his laugh.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right,
It's pretty bad, guys. It's fine.
We're not going to go there. I'm not even going to try to tackle it. Let's go ahead and get ourselves into the game. It's match 2, game number 1 between Veni Vidi Vici and Kranis Esports. It is Kranis looking to get themselves their first win ever in the Valor Series 6 weeks in.
Look, they've improved. They have Beast on the squad now. They're coming into this at the end up against, the other team who's down there at the bottom of the standings with them. If there was any chance for Kranis Esports to get a win here in the Valor Series, it is going to be in this series, Sweet J. Can they make it happen?
Then they can. I believe in you, Beast, and I believe in you, Bear. You have learned a lot from your time in Singapore at the PvP Championship, and you need to shut down both this Crickneck, this Liliana, and the Crash before they get to their mid-game power spike. Oh, that's going to be a reset. That is not good.
No. Oh.
Don't make... Okay, don't.
Why did you call Valor out, man? Why did you try attention?
There.
And then just, what are you doing, Ninja, now? What is happening?
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, right. Well, I like how, but to be fair, I like how the NA teams, the lowest seeded NA teams, still invade better than like half the top EU teams.
Yeah.
They just don't invade.
Oh, man, Invero dropping.
It's true, though.
Dropping the Salt there. Salt Bay Invernum here.
Ooh, sprinkling it on there right there.
There we
No,
go.
seriously, EU just really doesn't like to invade early, and it hurts them a lot. Finally, we're seeing BBB picking this up. Now, they're actually buttering this up for Wasim to grab this in the jungle.
He's
How
level
nice
4
of them.
now. That's kind of scary. Crickneck level 4 is going to be a little scary. Oh my goodness, Zune. Bye-bye.
Everybody else is level 2. There's the Horn Rush as well. This is actually super solid. Everybody else level 2. The Healing Light's coming in there. Zune's going to be the target to follow up. They are nicely done, pulling them right back in. Wizards there with the cuffs. Will they be able to get it onto Zune? The shield is there. And one more onto, yes! Wasim makes it happen, but Beast, no! The dodge from Wasim. Nicely done. Raw's going to try and execute as well.
Wow.
And they do, able to pick it up with that Jinnar. Nicely done.
Raw with that flicker in there, and the Spirit Orbs bouncing on these opponents and landing the kill onto Wasim. That's exactly what it needs to do. Now is your time to secure this dragon, push that lane, take this dragon, and get the lead, Kranitz, because this is your chance to finally get a win.
And Rude doesn't have level 4, so this is going to be very hard to contest. Looks like he's going to maybe try and make it happen. No, Raw is going to be able to grab it, pick it up, and now Wizard put himself in a bad spot. Rude is going to be able to escape, and so it's all the members of VVV. So, could have been worse for them.
The power of this Pura, man, their Healing Lights kept Zune alive for so long, forced Venovici to overextend a little bit, and Raw was able to rotate in time and just flicker in, bounce some Spirit Orbs around, and secure that kill. And so far, looking pretty good, but they're not overly ahead. Right now, it's pretty even.
Yorn's been doing a very good job of farming and keeping Irie out of the lanes. That's been a factor here. But also, Orbs, clearly better than Beads, just saying.
Yeah, I agree. I love how they bounce in. That's the power of Jinnar. We bunch up against a Jinnar, he gets maximum value from that.
Don't clump against a Jinnar. You heard it here first, folks. As we do have the level 4 now being reached for all of the key members here, which means ults are going to be online.
Ooh, look at that.
That's a quick response on that exuberance there, and Drone Drop not even coming through from Wasim, not wanting to overcommit to that.
Okay, he doesn't have his ultimate now, so they need to be careful, because this is one thing that Kranitz tends to do, is they don't have their ultimates up, win conditions up, and they still try to fight.
Wizard is finding Ruby, though, in the river. The Ryu is going to be going in, only finding Ninja, has the Fox Storm, going to be able to escape the Drone Drop counter initiation. Nicely done there from BBB.
Come on, Kranitz, combo that. That was such a nice engage with the Ryu ultimate, but they have to follow up and combo with Pyrrha's Forest Sentry, because that's a stun. That's a Ryu stun, a Forest Sentry stun, a spin stun, and then Jinnar could easily go in there and help secure that kill there, because they could have killed Ninja, but again, the lack of comboing is really hurting them.
Lack of combo there, as we do see Wasim going to look to try and combo with Rude right here. Or Raw as well on the flank, just keeping them back. The Drone Drop could potentially be coming in here. Wasim, though, hasn't been able to find an opening. I appreciate the fact, at least, that he's not overcommitting here. Wizard, though, is going to be stepping a little bit too far forward, and that is going to be another kill for Kranitz.
Oh, look at that Healing Light coming in the nick of time, and they're putting so much pressure. This one makes Pure Comps so strong here. And that's going to result in a route to rotate to Dragon and take it. So nice job. Kranitz getting their second Dragon. They're a team that never, ever wins the early game this well and secures both Dragons like this. So
I got to give props. They're looking so much better here. This is the game we thought up in the top lane, though. Drone Drop is going to be coming in there on Ruby. The Ryu is there. Nice dodge, but it is going to be a whole lot of damage. The heart shot as well for McFly to help secure that. So at least they're going to get themselves a small little benefit there.
What a nice hard shot there by McFly. Again, a great split pusher. He's going to be a nuisance to deal with when he gets his late game, because he's going to be able to outrange most of the enemy team there with Yorn.
Yeah, and with that Heavenly Barrage as well, just dropping all the additional damage in the team fights, just such an annoying thing to deal with. But we do also have Rude now. He's somebody we have to watch, both in terms of these metamorphoses and in terms of these fights as a whole. So many, what are you thinking, Zune? So many resources committed to try and get this kill, as we do see Venovici getting a tower of their own. Rude, why did you stay? You burned your heel to cleave to get the kill. Why? Wow,
this is such an exciting game there. Again, decisions. You make some good ones, sometimes you make some bad ones.
I mean, space created at least. We do actually have the Hurricane Wall pushing Raw back. Wizard creating space for his team to get it. He's now real in deep, although in the jungle of his foes. But we see a kill and a tower going the way of Kranich, but two towers
trading, so
being
that's
traded.
good. You know, they're slightly ahead, but one fight can easily change the tide, and they have to be careful for Wasim there, because Kriknak has the Soul Reaver. He can do a lot of burst damage. 3.1k go. It's still slightly ahead of the Violet. And that is going to be the key, is can they kill Wasim before he bursts down Beast?
That's going to be the big question. Wasim, again, I have to give props to the fact that he's still playing this somewhat defensive. He's not overcommitting and drawing his team back in with him. He is still just deciding, look, I'm better off just farming here. I'm better off.
Oh,
I
that's
may
their
have
chance.
spoken too soon, though.
Oh, man.
He has the horn rush over the wall at least to get himself out,
If
but
he
that could
misses
be bad.
ultimate like that, they have to take advantage and engage him.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're looking to go in. The stun doesn't connect onto Rob. The rest of the damage is there. The exuberance, the counter initiation onto Wasim. Oh, no. The bait was real. The Metamorphosis coming in way too late. Wizard can be the target. Raw following up. Beast is in the back, uncontested. And look at the damage of Kranich. Veni Vidi Vici. One missed stun from Ninjas. All it takes for them to lose the fight.
Yeah, that was such a crazy engage. Raw was low, but guess what? He's got exuberance. It decreases damage reduction. Every hero that gets added 5% extra damage reduction. And then you got the healing light. He stayed live long enough, and even with the Crush ultimate was not enough, and they secured the carry. Rude! What are you doing, my man? That's the second time you decided to hang out and just check what your opponents are up to while they push the lane.
Rude seems to have a very skewed conception of how much damage his opponents can do, because this is now the second
He's a very
time.
curious Crush.
Yeah, he's like, I need to figure out exactly how many. Oh, it's 6. It's 6 hits. That's how many takes it takes to kill me. I know for sure now.
But man, Bear is popping on his Pyrrha. The heals and the sustain is just showing up, and that's where Vita Vini Vici, they gotta focus down the Violet. The Beast is the focus here, not Raw. Raw is gonna be able to sustain really well if everyone piles on top of him. That's Swing Edition. And look at Zune here doing such a good job. He's gonna see the dry. No, he doesn't, but Wasim is so low.
We do have the essence of the wind. Wizards there with the stun. The Hurricane Wall needs to be careful. Nice dodge in the Forest Sentry, able to flicker over the wall. Good snipe onto the Dragon from Veni Vidi Vici. They committed a lot of resources for it, but forced a heavy rotation from Kranich and no results.
Yeah, and look at this. Now Kranich is doing in the jungle invades. Nah, Hot Shot is going to be missed there. This is their chance. Let's go ahead and take the jungle. Deny the jungle from them. Starve your opponents. Snowball. Create that snowball. Let it build.
Quite a few ults available here. Oh, look at the combo off the net with the damage from the Ornn. The Heart Shot coming in as well. They do have the Metamorphosis at their disposal. Throw it in. Go. That was your opportunity. Oh. There we go. Pushing the exuberance back. Raw is now up a creek right now, and he needs to be very, very careful as we do see Rude going in. There's 1 kill and 2. Zune also under threat. Don't let Beast take him down. No,
Beast.
And now Ruby comes in on the flank. Can they get the Rio of Destiny right here? Where is the rest of VVV? They're trying to push the minion way back in, but there are kills to be had.
Yeah, Ruby does have his ultimate, though. He could easily change the fight around with one good ultimate onto Ninja or McFly. Will he be able to do it here? Because, look, Beast has the damage. They got to be careful. Oh, look at this. They're dancing around each other right now. Zune is a good tank in front. And there it is.
Oh, look at that Hurricane Wall. The disengage. Ruby went in, tried to find the Rio. That instant reaction time from Wizard.
Activate it.
I wanted, what did I ask for going into this game, Sweet J? I said the people who have been underperforming need to step up. That was Wizard stepping up.
Get in there and click that button. Click the ultimate. You did not use it. You have to execute as well. You could have easily changed that fight around. Stun the entire team. Throw that spin out. Stun them again. Let Violet hit all of the opponents. Let Malik get a nice cleave. But unfortunately, that did not happen. The decisiveness from Veni Vici. They saw Ari flying in there, and boom, as a ninja, she died as fast as she came in.
That was it. And really, though, that was just Wizard. Really, that was just Wizard's reaction time being insane. Like, the shadow goes in, she's like about to raise the dagger and already hopped on a broom, done a 360, and that's just like, let's go.
Yeah, that was a beautiful Hurricane Wall there. And Ruby needed to stun sooner, and it's all down to timing. Execution is everything in these team fights.
And now that we're post 10, these team fights have a lot more ramifications. Darkslayer was picked up for Veni Vidi Vici. They will have the debuff attacking this Enraged Abyssal Dragon, so I'd be very surprised if they start this objective.
This is their chance here. What is Ruby doing? Go ahead, split push, man. Do something. Distract. Oh no, they're collapsing on him.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna back off. Okay,
He's gonna back off very smartly. Cricknack
He's
needs
just
to be
taking a field trip in the jungle, you know.
Cricknack has a ton of mobility. Wasim is able to get himself all around the map
he's
really
very
quick. He
fast.
needs to be the split pusher for his squad. As we do have
my
Rude and crew
goodness.
finding Ruby though. He needs to be very cautious, but this actually
Ruby?
this is actually totally on purpose from Ruby. Because
That's
look what
good.
Granitz is doing. Look what Granitz is doing.
Ruby?
Ruby's totally fine. Maybe.
Ruby?
The team is going to pick up the Enraged Pistol Dragon while he's doing all this. And he does have the Ryu.
Oh, yeah, it makes him immune. And can he escape? Yes, he does. Nice. They get the Dark Blessing. Now they can team fight. Oh, the hard shot almost takes him out.
That would have been sick. The Drake is being summoned, though. They're pushing into the top lane, so they're actually totally fine. They realize that, look, we can't actually take this Enraged Pistol Dragon with the debuff, so we're going to push. We're going to make it look like Zoon needs to be very careful. Vader's moving forward as well to stun the fall, the combo from Ninja. And look at this. The Metamorphosis is perfectly timed at the back of the shock. Raw is on the flank, though. Watch him go in. But oh, look at the Hurricane Wall! Forcing Raw back, which means the Exuberance can't go in. They don't actually take down Beast, though. And look at how much damage. That's actually the big Ryu in the back, though, from Ruby to spin as well, trying to confirm the kill. What a nice little counterplay. The high ground tower falls, but nice hold from Kranaz.
Yeah, kind of sloppy fight from both sides, honestly. I mean, Zoon kind of overextending, trying to save a tower that was going to die no matter what. And Raw wasn't able to get that ultimate off. Beautiful Hurricane Wall by Wizard, canceling that exuberance. What a play by this guy on the net here. And as a result, you know, even trade, but Benevici does come ahead because they do get the high ground tower down.
I have to say, I love this N-Net as a counter to this Jinnar here, because it also gives you a buff when you're standing inside of it from your own team. So having this Hurricane Wall up and rolling stops the Jinnar from going in, stops the Exuberance from being this game-changing ult that it is. I love that fact coming in from Annette. This is actually a really sick play. I didn't ask for you. You called for it. I said, look, I don't really think, you know, this requires a lot of teamwork. Maybe these teams aren't quite there yet. You said no. Pick a net, and you know what, Sweet J, you were 100% correct. This is exactly what they need. I'll give you that. Okay, it's fine. It was exactly the pick they should have done here, especially into the composition of Kranaz.
And the barrier, it gives a 30% attack speed buff and a 40% movement speed buff, and it lasts for 3.5 seconds. So if Yorn, Mr. McFly there is hanging out in the Hurricane Wall. Oh my goodness, Wasim, what are you doing? That's the wrong bush to check, and the insect gets squashed.
Sliced in half with like an assassin's blade right there. That was tough.
Man, that is not a good play there. Why would he do that by himself? I mean, again, decisions.
I think he's just unappreciated.
Make good ones, he makes some bad ones.
Just thinking he's a little bit tankier than he is, and now Kranaz in an
Oh
instance
my god, that damage.
pushing onto the high ground. Violet's starting to hit real hard at this stage. Beast is feeling really confident.
Yeah, I mean, Liliana, that burst damage.
Oh, yeah. In return, I mean, it's pretty good, but, I mean, Kranaz, this is their opportunity, their moment. They've lost a high ground tower. They need to get one back of their own, ideally in the Slayer lane, but...
Oh my god, Violet. You're too dangerous. That tower was like a piece of butter to you.
It's just drops it into the pan. We're going to saute some things. But
Ruby did such a good job in that last fight, though. He got a real ultimate on both opponents and killed McFly and Wasim. I mean, that's critical. Ruby needs to focus on McFly, because look at McFly's build. He's starting to get so much damage. Sonic Boots, which is interesting to build. But he has Fafnir's Talon, Clav Sanctity, Rank Breaker. That's a lot of damage. And Cricknack has the Rank Breaker and the Omni Arms. That's a lot of burst too. So if they can kill those two guys and get rid of them, Kranaz in good shape.
I actually love what McFly is doing right now. Using the Heart Shot on cooldown to help clear this minion wave. He's just constantly putting it right down the middle, buttering up all these minions here. He can do this twice as they come down the lane. He can actually just completely clear this out. So watch as he's doing this here. He's just trying to keep these minions down, which is allowing his team to push even easier. That's a really little heads-up play from him. I've never really seen Yorn being used in that way, but I actually like it from a macro standpoint.
One thing that could happen here, this is really dangerous against Kranaz, is Annette, when she is stunned, she can basically... it resets Windcuff, so she can stun people twice. And you're on top of each other, Windcuff can stun everybody and pull everyone together. And you combo that with Liliana, and you combo that with Yorn as well, and the AoE damage from Cricknack, that's extremely... Oh, the Bow of Slaughter is picked up. That's a lot of lifesteal from Yorn. I don't know why he picked a lifesteal. He wants to just survive as long as possible there.
It's definitely interesting. We are going to see the poke damage coming through. Ruby, though, is in the midst of all the foes. That was really nice. The Hurricane Wall, beautiful flicker from McFly as well to dodge the Ryu. And now Ruby is out on an island right now, off in Narnia, able to escape, but barely, using so many resources for the team. And now Kranaz is in a rough spot. Ruby has to back up. If EVV is smart, they will push this to their advantage, as all the while they need to get some additional kills. Zoon, I should say, is going to be the next target. Oh, no, he's caught way out. He's using the shock. Nicely done, getting over. Oh,
guys, come on.
My heart can't take this team.
They're like curious. They're like, what's going on there? You guys are there. Oh, yeah, I'm over here. Oh my goodness, look at how fast they're taking this, jeez.
The Dark Slayer's going down, it will go the way VVV, but now Raw is in there with the Exuberance. The Metamorphosis going in, Rude in the backline. Wasim is going to be the target, able to get the drone drop, but now getting out the heals being popped for Kranis, and Rude is going to be the target. That is another kill, 2 quick kills for Kranis. The downside of sitting inside of a pit like that is that it's also the perfect, it's like Exuberance just fits right in the middle of that.
Yeah, he flickered right on top Ninja and literally exploded Ninja so quickly. That was such a decisive engage by Raw there. And then Rude caught by himself after your buddy Ninja died, your entire enemy team ran away, and crashed ultimate by himself. And look at that burst. Oh my goodness.
Beast almost just one-shot him.
He has no armor.
None.
He actually sold his Gilded Greaves and just bought a Sonic Boots.
That was the choice.
Interesting.
That was a choice. Well, once again, we see Veni Vidi Vici.
This is huge. Your Razor Bishop Dragon gives you that team buff, so that means team fight-wise, they're in good shape. Hard Shot is going to hit the Dragon and help them secure it.
And they actually just have to use the Drake here just down the middle. They, in fact, decided not to try and push it later. They actually had a decent amount of time to try and push with this, too, and instead they're wasting it. So that's... I actually kind of wish that Veni Vidi Vici had prioritized the Enraged Abyssal Dragon a little bit more, because I feel like they need the help in these team fights.
Yeah, the thing is, look how fed the Jinnar is. 10.9k gold. He has Burst, Agony. It's going to make him a little extra tanky against the damage from Yorn and the Cricknack, and also gives him every ability he uses that hits him. It does percentage magic damage, so 4% of their health is going to be taken as magic damage. It's a really good item.
Really good item on him for sure, but can Wasim go in? He needs a big drone drop right now, but he's forced to use it defensively. Rude is going to get dropped. The team,
Rude.
This is everything we talked about. The team just not in position.
Positioning is everything.
That was a 4-man club from Kranis. That was a drone drop right on top of 4 people, but he didn't feel comfortable going in because the rest of his team was there.
And plus, they're not. Why are you overextending? You don't have your ultimate up.
Beast.
You need to wait for your ultimate. Beast, what are you doing? Get inside the healing light, my friend. Oh my goodness.
That's the one circle you want to stand in Arena of Valor.
Yeah, it's like, hey, my healing light's up. Oh, I'm gonna jump out of it instead.
But I mean, luckily, watch how fast. 2 healing lights, the rest of the team is back up. There's the initiation, but nice split though with the Hurricane Wall. There's the shot going in. Ninja in the back, the Ryu to lock down Ruby. Oh no!
The execute killed both of them. My God, a ninja living up to his name. Literally a ninja.
Sweet J, is your prediction about to be true right now?
It is.
Is this about to happen?
That's
They're
right.
pushing it onto the core. They don't have minions. Minions are going to be a million miles away, and Rude is actually here. So he's forced them back for now.
Minions are coming. They can finish it. They can push both lanes here. Finish the game. This is your chance, Kranitz.
They have 30 seconds. There's a very good chance they can do this right now. All that is standing between Kranis and their first win is Rude. He does have Metamorphosis. Actually, does have Metamorphosis. He has the shocks going in. He needs a few more stacks. That's GG! Kranis Esports takes the game!
They say in every dark tunnel there is an end to that tunnel, specifically the end of that tunnel resulting in the light. The light in this instance is a win, and Kranis Esports walk away with their first win of the Valor Series. It took 6 weeks for them to do so, but they have done just that over Veni Vidi Vici. Welcome back to the desk. I'm Jump. Of course, I'm joined here with Mr. Sweej and Inverum. They did it, boys. Woo! They did it indeed.
Yeah, and it was absolute teamwork makes that dream work, and Kranitz definitely won. Beast, Raw with his engages. I mean, they worked out so well together, and of course, you know, McFly on that Irie as well.
Wizard, his job was to shut down Raw in the late game. The Exuberance needed to not be a thing. It needed to get denied because late game 6-stack Jinnar, you just don't beat that. He's able to go in there, so much damage reduction. The Exuberance does so much damage, you just melt people. In the end, it wasn't quite enough. They couldn't quite dispel him there, but oh man, that was a good game.
And there was a substitution, right? They put in Ruby instead of
And Ruby played really
Dozer.
well.
Yeah, Zune also did really well. And look at that, Beast leading the charge. And that was the man I put my faith in. Veni Vidi Vici had a few areas, but ultimately in the end, they lost because Rude overextended a lot. Again, the Crush Ultimates weren't making... One part, it did make a difference, but other than that, it didn't really change the turn of a fight at all. McFly was easily focused down because Ruby expertly killed Ninja and McFly, and also Raw as well. Raw took out, in that Dark Slayer, he literally just jumped on Ninja and exploded him.
Yep.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at our AT&T replays of the game, which shows the step-by-step process in the fact of the members of Krenez Esports being able to walk away with this victory. Specifically now, this Dark Slayer. McFly is able to get
Raw here. Boom. Flicker in and he's gone. Wizard. Wasim is low. Rude is by himself. Poor guy. Crash can't do anything. His teammates are so low. And he's going to fall. And look at the amount of damage that happens to him.
It really just came down to Cricknack might as well not have been a hero in this game. Like, Wasim just is so squishy. Maybe he gets a drone drop off. Maybe. But a hero that has evolved to one spell is not useful.
Man. That was such an awesome. It literally killed McFly and Ninja. Boom.
Yeah, sick.
One execute.
Yeah, the shock in the back, the cleave, the execute, that's a ton of AoE you don't want to be anywhere near.
All right, now looking forward to game 2. Veni Vidi Vici has now found themselves a demoralizing loss. It is, regardless of their execution throughout the entirety of the season, it is losing to a team that has not won yet a game until just now. Must definitely be demoralizing, but this is a best of 2. There is an opportunity for them to come back with the 1-1, and holding true to your prediction here now is...
Hey, I gotta say, it's fun though. I mean, both teams being so close in skill tier, it's a fun game to watch.
There's
a lot of funny things too, like Beast jumping out of Healing Light when he's like 20%, 15% health. Rude, knowing the enemy is there, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna check to make sure you're there and let you poke me down.
Oh, it wasn't a poke you down, it was a one-shot combo because you build full squish crick. But that's a whole other story. Game number 2, VVV needs to shake off that loss of game number 1. They need to come back. The hierarchy now has been upended in NA.
It has.
At last,
Beautiful things happening here, guys. Beautiful things happening. But I used to do what Rude used to when I first played professional. I was a support, and I would just check. I would see the enemies there, and I would still just check to see what they're up to, and just get poked down. It's an interesting behavior that you have to shake it off.
Just poke the bear.
You have to shake it off. The bear. It's like you see them and you're like, wait, are they really there? And then you check to see them again and you get poked down and then you waste your ultimate.
Bad things happen.
Defensive. Yeah. So, speaking of that, Arum is going to be a popular ban here. Mina is a nice, interesting ban that they take off the map. Ibanez and Arum definitely need to be taken off for Veni Vidi Vici here. You cannot give Arum to Krenez.
Lindis and Zenio were bans from both Veni Vidi Vici and Krenez in the last game. Mina still finds herself a blue ban. Ibanez now on the red as well. Like you said, there are plenty of options left available for the bans. We've got the Valheim, you've got the Violet, you've got the Arum, you've got the Marja in a lot of instances. It looked like there was the Valheim and the Arum was the last 2 that we had to round it if we want to keep the same the same bans from game number 1. Could it be an option, or is there anything that we saw in game number 1 that could warrant being put on the ban table?
Maybe Crash. Oh, they're going to take away Irie when they're the ones that play this. But McFly does have a really good Irie. He's the one that was able to split push with Irie really, really well a few weeks ago.
I would consider the Violet. I would consider the Violet as a ban here.
But you got to ban Arum.
You got to ban Arum. That's the problem.
You got to ban Arum.
The issue is, too, is the single most high impact hero in that game was Jinnar. But you don't ban Jinnar. It's just not done. You just don't do it. You just don't. He's not that strong, right? Right? Right?
So are they going to get Pierre? Krenez my first pick Pierre here.
I wouldn't
Because with Mina out the picture, Pierre is really good. But Tognar is a good counter to Pierre. But with Mina out the picture, Pierre looks really strong for Krenez. So if they ban Arum, Krenez will pick up the Pierre.
They should. That should be the pickup here from them. This is definitely the question that VVV is having right now. This is definitely the discussion going on in comms, but it is actually going to be Violet. They thought that Violet, I mean, Beast played a sick Violet.
Now you got to pick. Is it Arum or Pierre? Who do you want?
Arum.
Do you want? I prefer...
Arum. You want Arum.
Arum is better, but the way they're playing Pierre...
Pierre's so good because it allows you to infinitely sustain high ground pushes.
it worked out really well.
It does, but you think about
it's
that...
It's more forgiving for a team.
That's true.
It is, but at the same time, you have to think about which hero is stronger in the current meta, which one can be played to better perfection. They tell of us, hey, you... Forget both of you. Now you can just pick, if you're Veni Vidi Vici, Arum and Pyrrha and just stick Arum on a side lane.
Yeah, no, that'd be fine.
That'd
be fine. I mean, Arum is tanky in side lane. You build her pretty tanky. And Pyrrha would also allow to do that. And the snare is the GG. Oh, they're going to go with Marja. Okay. Marja was not a contentious pick last time. What?
In Ninja's Raz.
Pyrrha's open. Arum's open.
If you literally give Krenez Pura Arum, you lose the game. There's no coming back from that, BBV. I understand comfort picks. I understand when you're down.
A net is open. There's a lot of good picks still open, guys.
I don't think Raz is that hotly contested by any stretch.
Oh, Ninja's like, give me Raz no matter what.
So
I'm
there's
going to
a-
show them.
There's a topic that we like to talk about in Arena of Valor, specifically in any game, when you think about the competitive standpoint, and it's what we like to call the tilt factor. Sometimes good things happen. It's if you're at the pinball machine, the pinball gets stuck and you have to rattle it up a little bit, the tilt factor happens and it just doesn't seem to work. There are instances that we can see. We have statistical data where this has popped up of teams have ended up putting themselves in a difficult position in game one, then have started the downward spiral of mental strength.
They overthink it. They just start overthinking everything, Jump. You're 100%
Oh
correct.
my
They're
goodness,
tilting, and they're just like, what about this? What about that? And then they start second-guessing themselves and start questioning their decisions, and next thing you know, you are left with a Frankenstein draft. The Franken draft, as we say, because you're constantly trying to counterpick them. You're not trying to execute your own strategy, and bad things happen.
I wonder if they're going to take a net instead here and just basically deny the crush.
You
net
can't
combo.
give Pura
Also,
Jinnar
a net-
over with the Crest. You cannot
Okay,
give.
they're not going to pick a net here.
Oh, no, I think it has to
Malik
be
is
Pura.
good too. Malik can actually counter-engage because when Crush lands his ultimate, Malik can then counter-engage with his ultimate.
But look at how much engage there is right now. If you go in with Crest, Pura, and Jinnar, that is tough.
Yeah, but they're not going to play Pyrrha on that side. They can play Pyrrha on the Venevici side. Then you can go ahead and pick up potentially a Finnick, or they can go with the Crickneck Yorn combo again, but they have to make sure they play together and play more around the Yorn. And Wasim on the Crickneck, he has to wait for the right moment to go in. He has to let his tanks take the damage first, and then fly in and flank.
That should be the goal. We didn't see a whole lot of that, unfortunately, in the last game. Crickneck just seemed to want to fly right through the front line and you get blasted apart a little bit there, unfortunately. I think that full death ball commitment side for VVV, using Raz to help push everyone together, clump them up so the rest of the team can help execute. That would be super solid, as well as a little poke to start things off.
And there we go. The
gonna be
Pyrrha
a
is
miss.
going to get picked up. I do like this draft. And go ahead and pick up the Slims. Slims would be really awesome here. If you give Slims a Kranitz,
I think it
that's
has to be the
scary.
Jinnar.
Okay, Roma works too. But I honestly, Slims would have been better because they're not going to pick Roma. They already picked all their side laners. Ugh, like I said, Slims would have been way better. You gave Slims over to a team that excels with the Slims because of that snare.
Both side laners were already
Valheim
picked. There was
stuns,
no reason to pick the Yorma here.
Yeah, there was no reason to pick Roma. They need to secure Slims. Again, you have to kind of think about your opponent's draft, which helps you decide.
So now you have Snare Flying Spear, and that's just a kill.
Yeah, and plus like the power surge from Raz with the Flying Spear is actually really good.
Oh yeah,
That's a really significant slow there.
Really good poke, yeah.
Yeah, really good poke and slow. And then you can follow with the Force Sentry.
Oh yeah.
And then Ryoma. That would have been GG if they had Slims there. And then the last pick Ryoma. So they can probably pick Liliana here. Honestly, yep. Of course.
They're gonna let the Jinnar go through. All
Super
right.
popular. They don't need Jinnar.
I know they don't need it, but as much for denial here, it would be okay with this composition. It would be exceptional, but it would in fact help deny what VVV's going to put together here. So that's why I think I would like it more. It wouldn't do the job necessarily a lot better than Liliana, but it would also deny what VVV's doing.
Yeah.
And we also know that they can play it
Are
because
they
they just...
going to go for Crickneck, or are they going to go for a Finnick?
Well, they do need a mid. Oh, that's right. What am I saying? They already have the...
They need a
Oh,
jungle.
They have
they have
Raz.
Raz. What am I
They
saying?
have Raz.
That's why it makes so much more sense.
They
Right.
can do a two-lane jungle if they want. That could work too. Two-lane
They
jungle.
do.
It's
Okay,
not
that
bad.
makes this okay, contextually. For some
But
reason, I had Raz
Finnick
not in my
probably
mind
makes
as a
more
mid hero.
Yeah, Finnick makes the most sense. If they want to go risque, they can do Teleonis. But honestly, Finnick would make more sense.
I would agree.
Oh, Murad too? Yeah, Murad would work. Yeah,
All
okay.
right,
This
there it
could
is.
work for them.
We get to see ourselves another Murad, and we have seen some quite mechanically talented Murads in North America specifically. I want to see how it plays out with Veni Vidi Vici. Now, taking a look at these compositions, clearly we have something that we've seen time and time again for Kranas Esports. Veni Vidi Vici, break down this comp for me.
Yeah, what they want to do is they want to get Murad to the late game. Kresh is a little weak. Pyrrha and Ryoma is very strong though, so they have a chance to make it to the late game. And he just needs to poke. He can out-poke everyone on that squad. And if he gets stunned though by Liliana or snared, he's done. But he has 3 iframes, or invulnerability frames, where he can basically dodge a lot of these CCs.
Watch for that, but it's very high skill cap to use.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, Wasim was lackluster in game number 1. His Crickneck was, again, a bit of a one-trick wonder. I need to see more of that from him here. Luckily, his mobility is as such that it doesn't forces him to overcommit, which is good. Able to use the temporal turbulence, but then also get himself out on another dimension. He's actually okay. So let's see what he can do.
We're going to have to find out indeed. Well, don't forget, of course, everything to do with the Valor Series is always available for you. We've got the Valor Series Esports website. That's simple, ValorSeriesEsports.com. Schedule, standings, everything and anything that you could want to know. While it seems that the top 4 teams are slowly getting themselves in solid position in North America, Latin America specifically, we have tied for 4th, and then everything is still out in the open over in Europe. So make sure you guys check that out so you can fill yourselves in on all the details as we get ready for the last 2 weeks of the regular season. Can you guys believe it? This is the last game before we are done with week number 6.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. Teams have worked their butts off, and now we have a better understanding of who are going to make it to the top 4 to Sao Paulo. And teams should continue to practice because there's going to be more Valor Series after this.
We've got Sao Paulo coming up very soon. Paul could possibly get himself on the beach and get a tan.
Yeah.
No? You're not feeling the tan life?
I am the most Irish person, man. I just burn traditionally.
I just wanted to play beach volleyball with you.
Dude, we can play beach volleyball. I'm down for that.
You want to be red?
Is Sao Paulo a coastal city?
I don't think so.
I don't think it actually is a coastal city.
There's definitely not a beach
We're getting
show.
word there's no beach in Sao Paulo.
I got you just assume.
It's on a plateau, guys. Sao Paulo's on a plateau. It's cooler up there. It's a couple
Sweet.
thousand feet above sea level.
I like how you know this, Sweet J. Thanks, Jump.
All right. Have
I
fun,
know
guys.
everything.
Thank you. Have fun on the beach, buddy.
In fact, the entire battlefield is on Sao Paulo plateau.
What is happening right now in game number 2? Crane has upset the hierarchy. They upset everything that we're putting together right now. And Crane is feeling good off of their game 1 win. Already starting off with the Invade Beast. I should have trusted in Beast, man. I should have trusted my gut to win this. I thought maybe this is the time. Maybe this is it. Crane is looking so much better. And they showed it now. I think having the leadership of Beast, that additional jungle they know they can trust, it's doing work for them.
Yeah, they're doing a good job here. And looks like Wasim did get... Raw took the blue golem! Oh my goodness, this is not looking good for Vici. That is not good. Oh my goodness, look at Ruby doing so much damage. Wasim is in trouble. They're going to re-invade him potentially here. Then that's not going to be good. Raw!
How do
he
you lose
stole that!
both? How do you lose both?
Oh
As they're not
my
going
God.
in. Wasim, oh, that is...
Oh.
Both jungles, and he's dead.
Man.
That is the worst jungle opening you can humanly have.
Oh.
Oh, and they stole the red buff too.
Man.
No.
You just lost 3 of your buffs.
That's bad.
That's 1,000 gold lead now to the enemy team. Vici.
Okay. How does one recover
Reset.
from this? TJ, how do you recover from this?
Yes, TJ would know. Let's ask him.
Darn it.
Okay, so how to recover is you need to
How do I recover from that
focus.
just now?
Just your jungle's gone. Go ahead and push one lane out completely, and then rotate as a 3-man unit and try to catch someone off guard or try to retake a jungle. So counter jungle basically. But you have to basically quickly put pressure. Like right now, they could have taken the Spirit Sunstone, for example. You have to immediately re-pressure because the only way you can win is if you're losing jungle, you have to feed yourself somewhere else.
That's a tall order, as it seems like Crane has submitted their life mission to take every single jungle monster on the map right now as they're setting themselves up. Zune is being the front man here. He is going to tank up this Abyssal Dragon. They need to make sure they do not let this leash. Rude, maybe you're going to try and deny this, but no. So that is an additional level of gold here. We are now looking at a almost 1.5k gold lead at the 2.5-minute mark for Crane
God,
Esports.
And they're just rotating through jungle like clockwork.
This is the best macro we have ever seen. This is
Yeah.
like actually just independently of whether or not it's Crane Esports, so context on that. This is just good macro, period.
Yeah, and like I said, they don't have an early game comp. You know, they need to get Murad to late game along with the Raz. And oh my goodness, look at that flying Spirit to Ninja.
Oh, the Reiki shot as well from Valor. Oh, no, Reiki shot as well from Raw.
Man.
Follow up from Valor. That is
Tyrannus.
just disgusting.
This-
Ruby as well. Oh,
This is a different team. What's going on?
I am really
oh my
impressed.
God. Ruby.
Ruby, you could have done it.
Ruby,
You
take
could have
it
done it,
easy
Ruby.
here.
You could have done it. Trust, believe in yourself, Ruby. I know you're the sub, but believe in yourself.
Oh my good.
They're in
Bear.
again. They're invading again.
Oh
The
my
spear.
God, he takes
He takes it again! Wasim using the iframe though,
Oh!
able to get himself out. The healing life. Beast has the leap, the fall, the
Oh!
uncaged. Wasim, no! What was a sick play, Valor and crew. Beast was still there.
Wow.
What, Kratos, what are you doing? What have you, I don't understand.
That was a good iframe at least.
It
Wasim,
was,
You know,
it was.
dodged that, but unfortunately, we didn't save his life.
He dodged the uppercut. Oh, that was sick.
Man, this team, what's going
The
on here?
unpredictable. I don't
Kranitz.
understand what is going on. I am actually so impressed right now. I'm going to be 100% wrong in my predictions, and I am okay with that. McFly, the Spectral Eye are not enough. I love even the predictive uncaged, just in case you try and pull yourself back as well.
That was really smart. Again, teamwork is making the dream work. Kranitz pulling out all their oranges.
Yeah, seriously, I mean, I guess oranges are in season now or something. That was what they needed. It was something in the weather. I don't know. But Kranitz is a different team.
Yeah,
and
what is going on?
And I appreciate that they're playing against the other lowest seeded team. I appreciate, again, it's context. They are playing up against
a glass
VVV.
ceiling.
They are, but at
beautiful.
least they're upsetting. Exactly.
Yeah.
They're breaking on through, so good for them. But again, this is just good play. This is good play
Rude! That was a good play. Almost had it though. If he did get that, that would have been a great chance to come back in the game. But
yeah,
honestly, a good effort.
This is a 4K gold lead right now.
That's 1,000 gold per minute.
Yeah,
that's devastating. And a
3K.
kill,
I can do math.
1 kill per minute too. That's
there it is. Kill the shock. They canceled the shock. There's the cleave. This is their opportunity to go back in. Oh, they are going in there. He's got the snare into Wizard.
Use your ultimate. There we go. Nice.
They finally got the kill, but at what cost, Sweet J?
A lot. Wizard got the kill to not Wasim, and you want Wasim to get that kill.
Wasim actually died again.
Yeah, he did. He had his ultimate. He should have used it a little sooner there, but he did pull it off at least, and got the kill onto Mr. Zune.
That was super nice.
Oh,
that was
there's
a nice
Ninja.
snare.
Ninja doing some magic with his Raz. Get him to the late game.
Look at the way Beast moves. Like, he just feels so comfortable in his movement. The way he auto attacks, it's just like he knows exactly where he wants to position himself, so he can be in the best opportunity to either
Beast
escape or
has been
engage.
Impressing me every single week. He's playing better and better every single time. He used to be in Allegiance in Season 1 actually.
Yeah.
Way back as a side laner, and now he's finding his place in the jungle.
I like this. I like the fact that he kept going, kept playing. We're gonna see Rude on the flank right now, looking to try and go in, find another Metamorphosis, but good positioning, sniffing that out immediately. Vandy VDVC telegraphed that so much though. They were playing, all of a sudden they stepped up. They played way too aggressive. They telegraphed perfectly that Rude was going to be coming in. Kranitz picked up on that. They sniffed it out and said, hey, wait a second. They're playing too aggressive. Let's get out of here.
Oh, he misses it, unfortunately, Ninja. Oh no, the Metamorphosis comes out. Ninja!
Just getting ripped apart right now. The Metamorphosis is not enough to push him back into the tower. The Reiki shot to clean it up. The disco ball of death from Raw.
That's pain.
That is pain indeed. Beast taking a few tower shots, but it's A-okay. In the mid lane as well, McFly under threat, pushing in on all sides. Wizards the next one to fall. Keep them coming, says Kranitz Esports. Once team goes in, the follow from Beast is there, able to get up. But where are you going?
Man, those Reiki shots, they're so scary. They just explode you and literally you disappear.
10 to 1.
Immaterialize.
10 to 1. This is like we're watching ALG playing up against. This is.
Yeah. What is going on?
Like the level of dominance we are seeing right now. Again, still a little bit of sloppiness there from Kranitz, but overall the gameplay is so vastly improved.
They clean up a lot on Ninja. Don't do what you normally do. No. He does that every game. He jumps in, gets some damage, and then disappears like a ninja.
Yep, and this is just opening up. I love the macro though. They've taken out all the towers instantly towards the dragon. Like
again, if they have over a kill a minute and over a 1,000 gold a minute lead, that's phenomenal. 7,000 gold lead right now.
8K gold lead.
8K now.
8K now. Wasim is going to be the next target. Oh, the snare. So nicely done. Where are your iframes now, Wasim? And that is going to be Raw going in as well. Look at the damage he's able to do. This arm pick has been executed so perfectly. Rude. He's forced to use the Metamorphosis just for the shield. There's no way. Don't go back in. Don't do it, buddy.
Don't go back in, Rude.
No. Valor and crew are there. Ninja's in the back line trying to rip them apart, but that is just so many kills. Finally, Raw dies one more. And McFly onto the tower. Beast can't chase.
Goodness. Rude. You did what you had to do. You pushed the wave away.
Pushed the wave with his wave, but it wasn't quite enough as he waves goodbye as he departs back for the spawn. This is just really nice play, though, from Kranitz, I have to say. As much as it's Veni Vidivici playing a little bit questionably, it really just is Kranitz looking so much better. I am so impressed. I cannot understate that enough, that I am really, really pleased to see the fact that this is clearly a team who is putting the work in. Question is whether it's too little too late in the season right now. They need to pull this off, upsets against other teams that they have any hope to make it to Sao Paulo now. They need to just continue to channel this improvement and maybe... Yeah,
they can catch up to Drawn to Fame. Drawn to Fame is in the 4th.
Yep.
If they continue to win the next few weeks, maybe, and Drawn to Fame loses,
yep,
there's a chance, so we'll see.
I hope so, because I feel like I sense the hunger from Kranis. You know what I mean? A little bit more. I think they're a little bit older on that team, a little bit more mature perhaps, and I think it shows here in their gameplay and clearly their willingness to try and learn.
And also, you never know. Passport issues might come up, visa issues, right?
Yeah, you never know.
You want to be in that 5th place in case something happens and you have the opportunity to show up to Sao Paulo, get a nice trip there, experience the beautiful Brazilian weather and culture.
I am personally super excited about that. Just watching these travel guides every week, man, it looks sick. I'm so pumped.
Yeah, they're too happy over there.
Everybody's so pleased.
They're too happy over there, man.
I know, it's exciting. I mean,
so what can Veni and Vici do to come back here? They're 10K go behind. They need to just turtle, get the level parity.
They need to
get items, get some more. You know, Murad needs like at least. Wow, look at that! Oh my goodness, McFly gone. Murad needs at least 4 damage items to make a big difference.
They need Kranis to overextend a little bit, and then
there we go.
Okay, and then to split the fight. They need to get a sick metamorphosis, like a horizontal metamorphosis, try and split this fight in order to isolate a few key heroes, and then maybe get a kill on that. As we're kind of seeing Rude doing now, we are seeing another fight breaking out over on the Slayer side as well. That's a great Nature's Rally as Rude and Wizard actually doing a lot of work right here. Beast can't actually break through this yet. Valor is here. Wasim does get picked off on the other side, so Kranis comes out on top there as well. And this is the Drake here. This is a minion. They're pushing in. McFly needs to make something massive happen with the Spectral Ire, but it's not enough. Ross stepping in too deep in the Fox form, though. That could be huge as Rude is trying to execute him here. Good defense from Zune as the peel is there. Valor now is pushing in towards the Slayer side. The last tower on the high ground here.
Get in there, McFly!
Get in there, McFly, they say, as the shock is going in. Rude is going to be the target. The heal is not enough. The core is dropping. Kranis Esports wants to make this a 2-0. Hit the core! Wasim was trying to defend with the going in. One more auto. Can they make it happen? And yes, they do. Kranis take the series 2-0.
What's better than 0? 1. What's better than 1? 2. In this instance, 2 wins for Kranis Esports as they walk away with the clean sweep of their opponent in Veni Vidi Vici. For the last time of week number 6, welcome back to the desk. I'm Jump. I've got Suije and Invirum. They did it!
Yay!
Again!
Yeah, what impressive. You know, game 1 was awesome, and in game 2, what just happened? They went on another level.
They went to another dimension.
Yeah, they went Kranis.
I would like to say that their cranial efforts were stupendous.
Yeah.
All right, that's about all I got.
Do you think cranial is spelled with a K?
No, it's a C.
I know, but
it's
the way you
literally it's a play on phonetics.
Okay. All right.
18 kills.
Beast. Did Beast die in either game?
Nope.
No. Beast hasn't died.
He did phenomenal. I mean, that is a carry of the team, and like I said, it was all about Beast and Raw. Raw really stepped up too. His Liliana and his Jinnar play was just so fun to watch, and of course, Ruby made a big difference in side lane there on the Valheim and then on the Ari in game 1.
I actually think that, you know, bringing in Beast and having Ruby here, I actually think, and Valor back, like,
yeah,
this is the roster, I think.
So looking at it from a much broader perspective in the sense of what things Kranis Esports needed to fix to essentially allow themselves to get a win, direction. I think adding Beast to the roster created that direction for them. I'm not too sure if he's fulfilling the shot caller role. That's actually something I'm interested in finding out. But with the experience that he had on a team such as Allegiance, the experience that he has on such a legitimized, formalized roster, I think creating that structure within him, since adding him now onto Kranis, has been such a huge component to their success.
I agree, and Beast has gone a long way from Season 1 to Season 2, and it just shows you, keep working at it. The teams had so many issues Week 1 to Week 5, and then Week 6 is when things turn around for them. They had a sub, but they played so much more as a team. I mean, it was awesome to see their rotations, their decisiveness, their jungle invades. These are things I didn't see. Kranis always lost early game, and the fact that they were able to turn around like that just shows you that 1 week can make a difference.
I have to give all the props in the world to Kranis to keep coming back week after week after week and keep losing, but to persevere and keep pushing on through, looking to improve, looking to get better. That's dedication, and that, you got to respect that. That takes a lot, And now to come back and win, they've got to be feeling so good right now.
Well, we've got to break down some of the strategies that allowed them to get themselves that victory. Our AT&T replays specifically revolve around the early game and the strength that Kranis was able to create.
Yeah, this was key there. They saw that Raw stole the blue buff away from Rasim, and then they knew he was level 1. If you don't get the blue buff, you're level 1, they invade, and then look, another capture, a beautiful flying spear. Again, combo with the Leon stun. And oh my goodness, Beast was just on a tear, catching everyone off guard. Ruby, Beast, and Bear. These 3-man rotations and invades were so good. And again, Beast in the middle of everything, every single time, being able to catch off their opponents and get these kills.
And it was really just the little montage there of early game dominance. They were up like 8 kills to nothing to start this game off. And you combine a couple of dragons with that, there's no coming back from that. They were losing an insurmountable lead. We were talking, as you said, more than 1,000 gold lead. At least
a kill a minute.
More than a kill a minute.
Kranis has the most death. I mean, they had 36 deaths yesterday. 36 deaths.
And now for Beast to have a perfect day.
It was just completely different. But it was such a fun match to watch. I mean, both teams are more close in skill, but it was really a joy to watch it go back and forth.
Because, again, regardless of who you're playing against, Kranis was still making the right decisions.
Yeah.
They were rotating perfectly for dragon spawns. They were getting towers when they could. They were split pushing well. They were invading like it was no one's business.
Yeah.
That's what they
Beast
need to
was
do.
hungry.
Yeah, Beast
All right.
was hungry.
Well, you guys heard it here. We've been talking about it a lot. It does no difference of giving him to the MVP because he rightfully deserves it. It's going to be Beast. I almost said ALG Beast, the old school Beast. I'm sorry. Indeed. No, it's KZX. It's going to be Kranis Esports' jungler Beast. It walks away with the victories, 2 of them specifically for his team. It was his direction, it was his precisity, but more importantly, it was his coordination that he was able to provide.
Yeah, the flying spear is his positioning. He stole away a bunch of golems as well. I mean, such a joy to watch, and his positioning is everything, because in other games that I watched and analyzed, I said Beast was a key to the team, and he got focused on. He actually died so many times against other teams, and I think he definitely worked on that and improved so much to a point that watching him shine is such a joy. So
not only did he stepped up, and the team stepped up to support him. And that's what we need to see. The first game, really nice play overall. You got to give props to Kranis. Congrats on the first win.
They did indeed. They've walked away with not 1 but 2 victories into their plate. That has now allowed them to secure themselves 2 wins, their first 2 ever in the win column for Kranis Esports. Earlier today, we had Allegiance with a 2-0 victory over Toxic Esports. Allegiance then still standing at 16-0, and now Kranis Esports finds themselves with their first 2 official wins of the game.
Yeah, the other 2 wins they got because Tribe actually forfeited.
Yes.
So this is like their official 2 wins, just FYI for people wondering that.
Yeah, you see 4 there, but we want the well-earned wins.
Yes.
Teams not showing up doesn't count.
Well, so Kranis still need to play Drawn to Fame here, which means that they could potentially go into this tied for 6-12 rather.
Wow.
That's something to watch.
All right, well then taking a look at our Latin American region that we had, of course we had matches aplenty. Now coming into week number 7, things are starting to get very sticky. We see Nova and Pain, they're going to be vying for themselves for that 2-3 spot as Geo Esports has almost locked it in. And now the big question is Assassin's Crew and INTZ.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big one. That's going to be a brawl.
It is. It's something we're going to have to keep ourselves track of. And then for EU, are the beginning of the day, it is now Nova, Bubble Team, Dead Rabbits, Existence, Team Queso, and Alliance. While it does seem like it is very clear, it is not. These last 3 positions.
Well, that just ruined it for me because I haven't watched the EU or the Latin. Like North America is usually last, but everyone keeps wanting to watch the NA, and so I now know the standings, which absolutely sucks. But I mean, I still need to watch it to like learn, obviously, positioning. And I think EU is the better stuff to watch outside of obviously the NA agility. But I'm gonna go ahead and eat my dinner. My phone is charging, which won't be long. I'll be eating. So like I'll be back on and I'm actually going to be playing the game, not just watching videos. So if you enjoy this, again, like hit the follow button or subscribe if you're on YouTube, and I will be streaming about an hour to hour 15 minutes and then get some games in. I'm currently gold 4, 2 games away from gold 3, and I hopefully plan to get gold, at least gold 1 tonight. And I'm on my way to platinum, and then of course diamond. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to go follow Arena of Valor on Twitter. Don't forget to go follow them on Instagram and of course Facebook. You can watch this stuff when it comes out, which is typically every Saturday and Sunday. There's day 1, day 2. There's There's a total of 6 matches on the day, and it ranges anywhere between 5 to about 9 hours of gameplay to watch of pros to learn rotations, jungling, taking lanes, etc., team chemistry, all that good stuff. So I hope to see you guys next time, and I'll be back soon. Peace.